Hello. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, or good night, depending on your time zone, of course. I am so glad that we can do this again, that we are back and streaming, and for ArtFight no less, which is super exciting. And I'm going to go ahead and click over to this screen, and I'm going to show you a couple of characters on screen. We're going to talk about them in a second, but first, I wanted to say thank you guys for coming to the stream. I appreciate Bingoned being in the chat, giving me an early hello while I was setting up. Setup-wise, I did not escape unscathed. Unfortunately, my nails did actually end up getting a little bit nicked in the process because I tried to paint them so last minute. But we'll come back to that. It's hopefully not going to be a huge distraction for anyone. I don't think it's super noticeable. Hello, Serby. Welcome to the stream. Good to see you. I hope you are all having a wonderful weekend so far. It is still early in the weekend. At least it is for me. It is Saturday morning. And I am so ready to get my art fight on because I have had a typical long work week, and with that means very little time for drawing. And specifically, this week was really rough on me, for those who don't know, and I'm going to go ahead and flip through this as we kind of like just get reacquainted. I did upgrade my streaming setup a little tiny bit, so the quality of the video here should be so much better than last time. I'm super excited for that. But we are going to talk a little bit about LASIK as well today. I hope you guys don't mind because I just had LASIK done on my right eye. This is my third round of LASIK, which is kind of insane. I did have LASIK in June of 2022 on both eyes. That was my first time. And my left eye ended up not being properly corrected afterwards, and so 6 months later I had to go back and have the left eye done again. Here we are 2 years later, and I went back on Wednesday last week to get my right eye corrected because it was really starting to slip. And just real quick while I explain this, the last 2 pages were my characters. They were warm-ups that I was starting to kind of like get my bearings before ArtFight started. And this was my first attack of ArtFight, so we're just going to page through these while I talk to you guys a little bit about what happened this week. And I really love this first one because it's so unusual for me. I don't usually draw stuff quite of this magnitude, let alone, you know, traditionally, most of my channel is digital, as most of you probably already know. And so this was quite the experience for me to try to draw something like this in traditional art. Hello, Randy Raccoon. Welcome to the stream and good to see you. These 2 characters were submitted by 2 viewers in stream 3 streams ago, I think, when we were doing our ArtFight prepping, and they offered them up for me to add to my my hit list. That was the stream we did, the hit list stream. And so they were the first 2 that I attacked as soon as ArtFight started. And then this one was my one and only leftover revenge from 2023. I owed some random guy a revenge because they snuck one last one in at the very end of ArtFight last year, and so there was just no time. And this carried over from that. That said, and I'm going to keep paging through these just real quick to wrap up the LASIK story, I went back in on Wednesday to get my right eye updated so that I could see in my right eye, and unfortunately, for whatever reason, which might honestly be self-inflicted by accident, because I did accidentally poke myself in the eye with my eye drop bottle the day it happened, like that night, my eye got messed up. And so I went back in for like my follow-up, and they were supposed to be like all clear, and they did not say all clear. In fact, they were like, whoa, what did you do? Something's very, very wrong here. So I have been trying to draw the last 2 days very cautiously for ArtFight because I can't really see in my right eye. My right eye is actually worse now than it was before I went in for LASIK, so that's kind of scary, but I trust that they'll fix it. I have an appointment on Monday to go back and have it re-corrected, like, again. So this will be like the 4th time that I've gotten my eyes corrected, which is insane. Hello, KK. Welcome to the stream. Good to see you. World of Eve. So good to see you. Already, Ish. Hello. I know that face you're making, that was me. Like that internal screaming gif, you know, like the, gosh, I feel like I had it in one of my Discord servers. I had like posted the internal screaming gif. And that was me basically all yesterday, because I went in Thursday and they're like, this is so messed up. You have to come back on Monday when the surgeon's in and they're going to redo your eye. And now I have to wait until Monday to have my eye fixed. And it's so nerve-wracking. But we're going to just press on, because I'm not about to miss 5 whole days of ArtFight for something so trivial as, you know, being blind in one eye. Who cares, right? We're just going to keep going. And that said, we're almost caught up. Like these, I've been paging through these the whole time I was telling the story. These were my ArtFight attacks so far this year. And like I said earlier, I'm usually a digital artist. So my challenge for myself this year and what I really wanted to work on skill-wise was traditional art. And so I have been working on traditional art the entire time, and we're going to continue that trend today. Serby's eyes are very sensitive, but I'm sure it'll all hopefully be fine in the end. Yeah, I'm really hoping so too. I've got my fingers crossed. I'm hoping for the best. They are one of the, you know, like renowned, supposedly best eye surgeons in the LA-based area. So I have high hopes that whatever is wrong with my eye, they can fix it. They were definitely expensive, so really, really hoping, because I emptied my savings account to like fix this eye, and I'm really hoping I did not do that for nothing. So we have caught up with today. This is my work in progress ArtFight attack. Perry, do you usually stream at this time, says Randy Raccoon? I do. I really do. This is my usual streaming time. Even when ArtFight is out of season, we will typically stream on Saturday mornings. Well, Saturday this time for me, it's morning. I don't know what time it is for you, but this is typically when we stream on Saturdays, and then on Sundays I stream on my gaming channel. So if you really enjoy gaming as well, I play Stranded Alien Dawn. I'm doing it tomorrow, actually. So if you go into my Discord to the announcements tab where all the streaming links get dropped, you'll see tomorrow's stream for Stranded Alien Dawn, and that's what I do on Sundays. It's not every Sunday, but I'm trying to be more consistent, so we'll see how it goes. Randy, oh no, it's 4 a.m. Oh no, that's so early for you. Well, I usually stream for 2 hours. Lately I've been doing 3.5 sometimes if it really gets away from me. So hopefully by the time it's a little bit more reasonable of a time, like 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock your time, I'll still be on so that you'll be able to catch some of these streams. I would really like to see you there, so hopefully that won't be too much of an issue. But that's the plan and the goal. So back to that earlier screen that I was showing you guys of these 2 characters. So you see the 2 in the book that I have the line art done, and it's like be yourself. We've got these 2 characters inside. This is my eraser, by the way. Isn't this cute? I got this at Target like 2 weeks ago, and I just love it. Like it's so good for like clearing a whole, like say I sketched out a pose and I was like, I really just think this pose doesn't look good. Like I can't get the angle right for whatever reason, or it just looks stiff. I don't want to use it. It's so much easier now to like clear the page than it was when I was trying to use like a little like pencil eraser. And I got this little unicorn donut thing at Target as well. It's super cute. I'm trying not to use the eraser that came with this because it's what holds in the lead, and this is like the colored lead, the red lead. So I've got a separate like pencil over here with an eraser for like more fine-tune erasing. But yeah, I love this. This has been super great for saving me time, and it's just really cute. So I really like that. That's fun. So I'm going to stick this over here. These characters are revenge characters, of course. Like the title of the stream says, we are revenging today. And the character references are up on screen. So this is what I'll be looking at while we finish this piece this morning. And we're basically at the color stage, which is so nice. I was able to sketch out the whole drawing on, gosh, I think it was Thursday, and then Friday yesterday I did all the inking. Normally I can do all of this in like one sitting. I'll do the drawing and the inking and the coloring, and then boom, you know, a couple hours later I've done it all and posted it, hopefully. But we've been super cautious because of the whole eye story. Hi Keisha, welcome to the stream. Hey Perry, totally didn't just finish a little something for you. Definitely not an attack. Oh no! Wait, we've got to see this. Okay. Hold on, so I'm going to click over here to the ArtFight homepage because I also had this pulled up because I just wanted to mention briefly that it really appears to me that Seafoam are the underdogs this year. Every time I refresh this page, we're just a couple points behind. And by a couple, I mean like a couple 100,000 points behind. Well, not 100,000. We're like a couple 10,000. No, it is 100,000 points behind. We're a couple 100,000 points behind Stardust because they're at 9. I'm gonna ignore the 33, like, I don't know, million or whatever. We're like at 980,000 over here for Stardust. And we are looking at 490,000 for Seafoam. So there is like a 500,000 point difference right now between the two. I do think that we're the underdogs this year, Team Seafoam. We gotta step up. This is not okay. We gotta do more. We gotta do much, much more. We gotta do so much better. So I'm gonna pop over here real quick because I'm just curious. I wanna see Keisha's attack. So we're gonna take a quick look at defenses on my screen. It is here. There's something new. This is my character, Martin, and I can tell because actually, I didn't know at first because he doesn't have his helmet on, and I'm so not used to seeing him without his helmet. So I'm going to show you real quick. It's my webtoon character, which means, of course, Keisha, if you don't mind, I would love to post your art in my webtoon on a future or existing chapter that doesn't already have featured fan art. If that's okay with you, just let me know, because I would love to share them. This is my character, Martin. Of course, we obviously know what he looks like without his hat on, his helmet. But I'm so used to drawing him with his helmet on. Like, we don't very often see this fella without it. So this is definitely like a fun new perspective on Martin. Thank you so much for drawing him. I don't get a lot of, like you can tell right here when we went back over here, we don't get a lot of Martin love. Martin doesn't see a lot of love, so it's really nice to get that. Thank you, Keisha. We are going to, no way you have a YouTube. Perry says, random Slimer, what is your art fight I need to attack? Yeah, it's the same as my YouTube channel. It's just PerryPictures. So I was lucky I was able to get PerryPictures, you know, straightforward PerryPictures. I didn't have to like do the PerryPictures or Perry.Pictures or PerryTac Pictures or anything crazy like that. Just PerryPictures, no spaces. When I went over to Kara, even though Kara's still pretty new, somebody had already beat me to it. So I had to do at the PerryPictures because somebody had already taken PerryPictures, unfortunately for me. So there we go. That's what that is. And that's usually my solve. If it's already taken, I'll just add the in front of it. Keisha says, yeah, of course. Sorry for not adding the helmet. I don't know how to draw that. That's fine. It's totally fine. He's got to take the helmet off sometime, right? He's not like bathing with the helmet on. He's not sleeping with the helmet on. He's got to take it off sometime. So that's totally fine. Okay, so I hope you guys are ready to draw with me, or if you're not drawing it, then you're just ready to chill and hang out and listen to me blab a little bit while we do some drawing, because I'm going to switch screens. You guys have seen the references. These are what we're drawing today, and we're going to pop over very quickly to this view because I need to do some coloring, and I want to try to stay focused as best as I am able. If you guys have been here before, you know I get easily distracted, but I'm going to try to stay focused today because I do want to sort of like be smart about this and not overuse my eyes today while it's kind of still blurry and I'm still seeing double a little bit. And I'm probably going to be doing, like, you won't see it. My little avatar doesn't show it. But I'm probably going to be doing some eye patch Perry-ness where I've got like a one eye closed and I'm pirating it up just so I can color in the lines and not see double and accidentally go over. So I've already picked out these colors for our friend here. She has quite the color palette, to be honest. It's quite a lot of colors, but I think they all look really good together. So that's what we're going to do, is color her first. And then once we've got her done, we'll move over to Arlo here. We'll pick out some colors using our swatches before we start on him. And what I plan to do last is kind of like the frame. Just because then I'll know what colors will complement the characters better when I can see them in color. So that is my plan, and I appreciate you guys being here. And of course, as always, if the music is too loud or too low, let me know, and I will adjust the audio the best that I am able to. And additionally, I can make the screen a little bigger, so this is a little bit easier to see what we're doing here today. And I'm like so excited because last time we streamed traditional art, I was like kind of disappointed in the quality of the video. No matter what I did, try to like add sharpness or anything like that, the picture just wasn't very clear. And so I'm like really excited to have found a solution to that. And in fact, now that I say that, let me make sure that like the sharpness isn't turned up so high or anything crazy like that, because I don't think it needs it anymore. I don't think we need to be like making this so sharp it becomes pixelated. Okay, so, oh no, I lost my chat. Where did my chat go? There we go. And Keisha gives me permission. Good, good, good. Thank you so much. Yeah, just if you follow my webtoon on Webtoon or on Tapas, it is on Tapas too, you will see anybody who draws art of my webtoon characters during ArtFight, I share them as featured fan art in the actual webtoon chapters. And so I'm trying to be super clear, like when I add somebody's art to a chapter, I try to go back to that attack and leave a comment saying it's in this chapter. That way it's just super easy for you guys to find your art. And also, I just really hope you guys like the story. I put a lot of work into that webtoon. I'm very, very proud of it. I think it's a super nice, pleasant, meaningful story to tell. And I also think it's pretty gosh darn original. I don't see too many stories about an old lady saving the day and being kind of the hero we need. And stuff like that, where we're kind of just celebrating people of all ages and getting outside the box and exploring new territory. It doesn't always have to be some coming of age story. Sometimes it can just be more of a finding your purpose at any phase of life story. Serb says, I've only posted to Webtoon before. Is uploading a comic to Tapas pretty similar? It's practically the same. You could literally just upload the same files, but there is a way to optimize for Tapas. I basically use Croppy to optimize to like do all my splicing for me for both. And they will splice. And I talk about this in my Webtoon video too. If you are interested, I super recently, I think it was like 2 videos ago, did a video about creating Webtoons. Where I basically go through and I put like I poured my heart and soul into that video to try to cover literally every single step of creating a webtoon, from ideation to story outlining to partnership, if you want to partner up with somebody to work on a webtoon, to the design phase, to the actual chapter phase, how to write a chapter, what to decide goes into a chapter. All of those things I put into that one video. So I really was hoping to try to make it like a one-stop shop for everything like webtoon. Is this the right color? Yeah, the headband is just kind of like got a white color. The ribbon, I suppose, the hair ribbon. I do plan on making more webtoon videos in the future to sort of get like more into the weeds and less of like a total overview. So if you're interested in stuff like that, you know, stay tuned and let me know so that I can kind of like address any questions you have for webtoon. I may not be the biggest webtoon creator. I am Canvas creator, but I will say, as somebody with a super niche story that does not have the most, I would say, wide net. It's not like a romance. It's not a video game based action story. It is a heartwarming fantasy adventure with an old lady protagonist. Not a huge demand out there for that, but I am sitting at, I think, 930-ish readers or subscribers. I don't know if they're all reading, but 930-ish subscribers. And I've been featured on Webtoon twice. I've been featured as a hidden gem, and I've been featured as, oh gosh, what was the other thing? I was in like another category. I think not Rising Stars, but in I would have to look. I can't remember what the other well, let's go for it. Let's go for it. We're just hanging out anyway. You guys are not super like critically waiting for me to finish this piece. Unless you are, I don't know. It's possible. But let's take a quick gander, shall we, at, oh gosh, Webtoon. Let's go to Webtoon. And we're gonna just mosey on over here and look at my stats for a second. So we're at 929 subscribers. And the story, like I said, is about an old lady protagonist in saving a magic kingdom. So it's like her hero's journey. And I have been, if I go over here to PerryPictures, we're gonna skip that. That's important news, but we're gonna skip it. Unless you are super interested, then you can go back and check it out. I think though, yeah, here we go. So I was on Staff Picks. That was the other time I was featured. So I was on Hidden Gems, and then I was featured again in March on Staff Picks as well. So I think the Webtoon staff really like what I'm doing. So my video, long story short, TLDR, my gosh, how long have I been talking about this? The point is, the Webtoon staff seem to think I know what I'm doing. So I think I have some value to offer in my Webtoon video if you are looking to make Webtoons. That was kind of the point of that entire tangent. I apologize, it took me so long to make it. We can now get back to ArtFight. And of course, if you guys have further questions about anything about ArtFight, about YouTube, about Webtoon, you know, I'm happy to discuss, because while we're drawing, we gotta chat about something, right? So anything is fine. It's not off the table. Serby says, I've noticed since I last worked on a comic on Webtoon, it now seems to have its own built-in splicer. Do you like its results or do you not use it? I haven't used it, to be honest. My workflow is, I haven't really changed my workflow too much, so I still use the croppy one that's linked in the description part of my Webtoon videos, on both my Webtoon videos I've made so far. So I couldn't really speak to that, but I would hope that since it's catering to their own platform, that it would be a decent product, right? You would think. And sorry, I'm curious because it's been a few years and I'm getting ready to post again. So no, that's totally fine. Absolutely happy to answer any questions you guys have. I like working on Webtoon. Bingo Ned, who was in the, I don't know if they're still on the stream, but they were like one of the first people to show up to the stream earlier today. They're actually they're my partner on my Webtoon. They help me as a colorist. So I think around chapter, gosh, I don't know, 30 or so, maybe before chapter 30, I was like, I really need a way to make this faster. I can't keep up my schedule, make these Webtoons, make YouTube videos, and do my full-time job. And take care of like my adult responsibilities too. It was just a lot to juggle. So I like was looking for help, and then I was watching Bingo Ned post his art in the Discord, which is linked in the description. And I was like, man, this person's really good. Like they're really good at what they're doing, and I wonder if they'd be interested in like a part-time gig helping me with my Webtoon. And so I reached out, and thankfully he had time and was interested. And so I've been able to get the help that I needed with my Webtoon and partner up. And I do encourage collaboration 100%. I'm such a like super supporter of collabing with others. I think sharing, first of all, sharing your projects, your passion projects, helps keep you kind of fueled so that you're not trying to fuel your own tank, your own inspo and motivation by yourself all the time. Having somebody that is motivated with you, you can help charge each other's batteries. Does that make sense? And then the other thing I feel like partnership really does for you is it helps you get out of your own head. And so a lot of things that you would maybe realize afterwards, after you make something, be like, oh, wow, I didn't realize that didn't make sense, or I don't like how that turned out. I wish I would have noticed sooner or thought of that sooner. All of those kinds of things are a lot easier to catch when you have somebody to bounce ideas off of and who can give you feedback on what maybe you're not seeing. So 1000% huge supporter of collaborating. Yeah. So those are my thoughts on that. I don't know if anybody like would disagree necessarily, but I felt like just sharing. Serby says, gotcha. Thanks for the info. Random Slimer, it says quick keychain or bracelets. Oh gosh. Keychains. I actually have a really cool keychain collection that I started when I was in the military, and I haven't really been adding much to it in recent years, but back when I was traveling a lot more because I was in the military, I used to, just go to little souvenir shops and get a keychain or a magnet or both from wherever I was traveling at the time, and just sort of like, I don't know, add it to my collection. I have a whole heavy string of keychains all kind of like linked together. I think I need another color so I can sort of like add shadows for this green. This is pale green. I think grass green would work. Hopefully that doesn't dry too fast. I'll be right back. Here we go. Okay, what were we saying? Yeah, my first webtoon I uploaded weekly for about 2 years. It's a ton of work, and I had super short chapters, although this time I'm taking it more last and stockpile some chapters before I post. Building a buffer is always good. Everybody that makes comics would tell you build a buffer for sure. I would have to agree with that. I think buffers do you a world of good, and when you post the first chapter, just post 3 together. Just drop them all at the same time so that readers really have something to get hooked on. And then from there, you can start like releasing your buffer slower, like 1 chapter at a time, instead of trying to like release 3 at a time. Like don't always release 3 at a time, only in the beginning when you're like just dropping the first one, of course. I say of course as if that's obvious. I don't know if that's obvious. But that's just sort of, yeah. I would agree with that. I think batching is good, especially for like kind of any sort of content creation. If you can batch, then definitely do. Like I know a lot of people who are like really big into growing their Instagram presence would they would like just swear by batching. Like you have to batch your content because that was the only way to keep up with the Instagram algorithm. It was kind of ridiculous. I never even bothered with Instagram. I thought it was either you got in when it was really new and you made it to the top and you stayed on top, or it was, oh no, I went outside the lines. Or in my personal opinion, this is just my personal opinion, if you weren't one of the early adopters, there was no point because the algorithm just did not care. Once it had its superstars, that's all it was willing to push. And especially after Instagram moved away from being sort of like an art platform. It like started out as like photography and art and stuff, and then it became very much an influencer platform. It just made it kind of, I don't know, what do you guys think? I was not interested after that. There are so many pictures of pretty faces that you can look out before it just stops losing impact. I don't know, in my opinion. I might not, like, that might not be a popular opinion, but that's just my opinion. I don't know, I like variety, I think. Variety is the spice of life. I've said it before, and I know that, like, that's a popular saying. I did definitely not coin that, obviously, but even like with Webtoon, I just, some of the most popular Webtoons, I don't want to like, I don't want to complain about Webtoon, but some of the most popular ones all look the same. They all look the same. They're becoming the same story. They just found something that works, and then like with anything else on the internet, they doubled down. They just doubled down on it, and they're like, this is what people likes, and we're okay with giving them brain rot, so we're just gonna keep putting out the same thing over and over and over again. And that's why I like don't even read the romance genre anymore, because it got too much. It just became, I used to be a romance webtoon reader, and then for me, it all turned into the same thing, and I just couldn't be bothered to open another romance comic on Webtoon again, because I was like, I am not putting my time into even reading the first 3 chapters to see if I like it, because they're all the same. I can tell from the thumbnail. And maybe that's being too judgy. I don't know. I'm sure there are still really good, unique ones out there. But I need to like desaturate. I need to get away from it for a while before I can like become a consumer of that content again. And that's sometimes what you need too, just a fresh set of eyes. You need a break from anything, even from ArtFight. Like I said in my ArtFight video, the one I made this year, if you are getting burnt out or overwhelmed, or if it's becoming a chore, you know, take a break, go outside, do something fun and refreshing that is not training your eye for art or whatever it is that you're trying to do with ArtFight, because you need a break. So yeah, definitely. I'm not saying take a break right now. I want you to be here. Obviously, I'm not trying to shoot myself in the foot. I want you to be here on stream, and I hope that you guys are having a good time this morning on stream, hanging out and, you know, maybe getting art done. But for sure, yeah, there's just, with anything, moderation. I know that's funny to say during ArtFight when we're all like trying to crush it and, you know, and pump it all out as fast as possible. So moderation might not feel like the word of the day. But coming from somebody who only has one good eye right now, moderation is what it is. It's what it's gonna have to be, for me at least. Serby says, after DeviantArt kind of died, I haven't really found a place with a good art community to post to. I know Kara is a new one, but I don't know. Something about it doesn't super vibe with me. Webtoon is interesting since it's a Korean platform, so Canvas, while not being Korean, its viewership is largely driven by people opening Webtoon for translated Korean comics, says Serby. Yeah, I think, I mean, how many millions of viewers are they at now, honestly? Because I think the consumer base for Webtoon is so massive. I need to find a blending color for this too. Hang on. I can't just make this flat color. We're gonna get a lavender to go with this color. What color is this? Is pastel violet? Yeah, pastel violet, lavender. Is that too dark? It might be, but I don't really have another option. So we're gonna go with it. I'm gonna go get the lavender. 1 second. Okay, so hopefully this isn't gonna be too dark for the shadows. Oh man, Neflit or Neflite. Hola! I read your username all the time, but I don't know how to pronounce it. It always makes me kind of feel like a little hesitant. Like, oh no, how do I say this? Because I don't know. I don't know. What is the right way? What is the right way to say this out loud? I don't know. I hope it's okay. I hope I got it at least close. Hello, welcome to the stream. I'm glad that you were able to make it. It's good to see you in the chat. Random Slimer says, speaking of stories, I have severe writer's block and I haven't updated my Wattpad book in almost a month. I'm sorry to hear that. I hope that you're able to get over your writer's block. That sounds unfortunate. It's not fun. I know that. Little known fact, I am also a writer. I wrote and published 2 books when I was but a wee little lass. And those books are on Amazon, and they are on, one of them is on, I think, Wattpad, the original. I decided to make it available on Wattpad and make it free because I never finished the series. It was supposed to be 5 books. I only wrote and published the first 2, and because I don't want to waste anybody's time by having them buy a book that the series doesn't really end, I decided to just kind of give it away for free. So yeah, if you go to my link tree, if you're even curious about that, if you're interested, if you're not, that's fine, just totally skip it. We're just gonna chat about it a little bit and then go our separate ways on the book front. That's fine too. But yeah, I mean, it's available. It's on Wattpad if you're like interested. But again, that's like totally an older book I wrote when I was basically, no, I was a teenager. In fact, I started it when I was a preteen. I wasn't even a teenager when I started writing those books. So I was very young, and I do feel that the writing reflects that, but I'm still proud that I did it. Like, sometimes you just gotta be proud of your achievements, even if they're a little bit embarrassing, even if they're a little bit cringe as you get older, which is how I feel about mine. still be proud of the fact that you did it. And that goes with your art pieces too, your ArtFight pieces. I heard a lot of people be like, oh, that's old art from previous years, and they'll put like a little dead emoji thumbnail on it or something and be like, old art, don't do that. Don't do that to yourself. Be proud of yourself. Never not be proud of yourself, okay? Like, you did the thing. Oh no, that's the wrong color. Shoot. We're gonna find a way to fix this. But the point is, you made the art. You did that. You put your time and your effort into that work, and it is the foundation for your future work and how much better you will be. I think I'm gonna have to shade this now just because I made that mistake. I think we're gonna have to. Speaking of stories, I've said, enough light. It's okay, whatever you say. I'm from Germany, it's totally different here. Okay, enough light. Okay, we're gonna try to like fix this mistake I made by just creating a much bigger shadow. And we're just gonna have to make this work, because I accidentally grabbed the wrong color when I first started with this. So we're just gonna try to blend it in. That's the goal. That's the plan here. This is what we're doing. This is a learning experience. This is the whole point of like practicing new skills, right? And learning how to, like, the little fixes for some things. Sometimes that's like part of the learning process too. So we're just gonna, that looks so muddied now. I think I'm gonna have to muddy up the sleeve just to make them match, because these don't even look like the same color anymore. Not thrilled about this, but I think we can work it until it works for us, until it does something that we're happy with. So let's try that. We're gonna double down on this lavender color and try to bring the sleeve to kind of the same place the shirt is. Honestly, is it even that bad? What if I take these glasses off? No, it actually is kind of that bad. It really got dark. So we're gonna have to work this in. We're gonna work this color in. But it is redeemable, in my opinion, so I'm not super duper concerned. I think we can still work with this. Okay. There we go. That's fine, right? What do you guys think? 2 keychains might be coming your way, says Random Slimer. That's so exciting. I do like keychains. We talked about that earlier though. Let me show you guys what I mean by glasses. I'm wearing these to keep me basically from rubbing my eye. I have to have something on. And the goggles they gave me for the LASIK are way too tinted. I wouldn't be able to see what I'm doing at all. So rather than that, I'm wearing these. Which of course is still throwing off the color, but that's like, can you see how her shirt looks through this lens to me? It looks so just muddied, but in the actual color is actually not so bad, so that's good. Neff Light says, I looked at my first ArtFight attacks the last days and thought, oh my, look how far I've come. Exactly, that's how you should feel. Or if you don't feel that way and you're just like, man, I'm rusty, I feel like I'm doing worse than I did last year, you know, don't beat yourself up about that either, because it's all about like warm up. You gotta warm up to it sometimes, and you don't need to always, even when you are warmed up, sometimes you're burnt out and you're not gonna deliver your best work, and that's okay too. We don't need to be beating ourselves up over something that was voluntary to begin with, A, and B, that is not a paid commission. Nobody, like, you don't owe anybody any like set level of like finish or quality. If all you're able to supply, like if you're like, man, I'm just like burnt out, or man, my life just got so busy out of nowhere all of a sudden and the most I can do are ballpoint pen sketches. I feel bad giving people ballpoint pen sketches, but you know, that's just what happened in my time. Don't feel bad. Don't feel bad. We all have lives outside of ArtFight and we can all relate. And if somebody doesn't understand that, if they're like really upset at you, try not to take it to heart because they're probably just really young and have, you know, like just not really the self-awareness there yet. Maybe they're still going through a lot of development and growth. And you know, later in life, they'll be like, man, I wish I didn't make that person feel bad about a ballpoint pen sketch that they didn't even owe me, you know? Like, do you guys have, this is gonna be a weird question. Let's like make everybody super uncomfortable real quick. Do you guys have any like stories of like super regret or like a moment of actualization in your history? And I'll give you an example. I'll tell you one of my worst stories of something I did that I regret to this day that like taught me a very, very valuable lesson. When I was in middle school, and I'm seeing Bingo Ned Road, I'm seeing so much debate about people getting mad about not getting a tax back nowadays. I watched a video about that this morning when I was getting ready. And I was like, oh man, I didn't realize that this was like happening, that people were going to TikTok is what it said. People are, first-time art fighters are going to TikTok and they're like raging about not getting a tax. And they're like, oh, I would have drawn like 10 or 12 attacks or something, and then I get like no revenges, and I just don't think it's fair. This is kind of crap. I was told that I would get, you know, art, and then I didn't get any art, and it's already like week 2. I think that's just a sign of like a lack of experience, maybe. And part of it might be that, did I make this too dark? I can't tell. Let me lift my glasses. Hopefully it's not too dark. We're gonna let that dry. I might be overworking the colors a little bit today. Yeah, so the thing about being a first-time art fighter that I don't think enough people have mentioned, and so I just saw a video mention it, like I said, this morning when they were responding to that TikTok sort of like negative trend. And I added that video to the bottom of my ArtFight playlist if you guys want to go check it out at any point today. But basically, they pointed out that in your first year of ArtFight, you are less likely, you are less likely to get revenge attacks because you haven't built any ArtFight relationships yet. And I think that's a very true statement that I haven't really thought about before, which needed to be said, especially for newcomers to set expectations. Because, and I need a color I can blend this with, we're gonna have to find one, because I have mentioned before in my ArtFight streams and videos how I have made friends through ArtFight. I've made relationships on ArtFight. There are certain people who, like, one year they attacked me or I attacked them, and then we got into a revenge chain. And now every year I check in on them and I draw them something as sort of like a little memento. And so you start building over the years, and I don't like, it's not like year one, boom, I made all these relationships with these other artists and now I've been set for life. No, it's been building and accumulating over the last 8 years of ArtFight I've been playing, so that I have these friendships with other players that I have gained each year. Each year you play, you are more likely to get revenge attacks or attacks just even from people finding you for the first time, on top of the ones who already know you from last time. Does that make sense? So I wasn't the genius who came up with this. I'm not the one who realized it. But I do agree with the creator who made the video that pointed this out. If you're upset as a first-time ArtFight player that you're not getting the volume of attack backs that you're giving, just try to remember that those attacks that you are giving, that you're upset are not getting revenged to the same quantity. Those are the very same drawings that are going to build those relationships. You drawing that, even if they don't get back to you right away, you've created a bridge. It's an opportunity to build a friendship with that other artist. And you don't know what's happening in their life real time right now. So even if they don't get back to you right now, does not mean that it's a dead end. You might hear back from them the last day of ArtFight. You might hear back from them the next year. I just got a revenge this year from somebody that I drew for in a previous year. I don't even think it was last year. It was like 2 years ago. I drew them something. Never heard back from them. I was like, okay, that's fine. Whatever, move on. And then they drew me an attack this year. And I was like, oh, do I need to revenge them? Are they revenging me? I was like trying to figure out like, okay, where do I need to put them on my list of to-dos? Because I'm trying to like get my revenges squared away. And then I realized it was somebody I drew for years ago, and they just were like, you know, paying it back. And so that's really sweet, and that's kind of the way it goes sometimes. People can't always control their circumstances and when they'll be able to get back to you. But that doesn't mean that they don't care, I guess, is kind of the point I'm trying to make. I'm struggling, I guess, to make my points quickly today. I'm so sorry if I feel or sound super long-winded. I'm trying. I am trying, folks, to make my points as effectively as I can. Serby says, I attack so much more than I get attacked back. Always have. Yeah, and you know, you guys, like, so YouTubers, and I know it's been mentioned a couple times in many of our videos, that once you make a video, you are more likely for people to find you on ArtFight and then attack you. And so you might get kind of like, overwhelmed, right? But that's not always the case. It's not a guarantee. I've been making ArtFight videos for 3 years. I was the first one to ever make an ArtFight video. Mine was like the original. And I have consistently every year made more attacks than people have made for me, even being a YouTuber talking about ArtFight on the internet. Let me go to my stats. I'll show you. We'll just hide this for a second and we'll go over here. Gosh, I don't know. Back up from here, back up. There, yeah, let's go to my stats. Statistically, I am getting kind of ratioed right now. And I think part of that is, again, I've had to slow down because of my LASIK. I haven't been able to do as much. I will try to even this out before long. But if you look up here, my battle ratio overall, even with me getting annihilated this year and it dropping my stats massively, I'm still over the 50% mark. I still have a 51.8, almost a 52% battle ratio for all 8 years, cumulatively. Even with me getting destroyed this year, I am still averaging over what everybody else has drawn for me. If you go to my profile and you look at these numbers, 200, I've drawn 200 attacks, I've received 186. So even being the OG YouTuber talking about ArtFight 3 years running, I am still not getting attacked nearly as much as I am attacking other people. And I am not a quick artist. I am not pounding out 10 drawings a day. I wish I could. But even in the past, I've averaged 2 drawings a day. Some years I've only done one drawing a day. There were years where I did I think there was one year where I did, because I marked it. There was a year where I did 15, the whole year. So here's 2022. That's one row, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's 1 week, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I did 12, and there's 2021. I did 12 drawings in 2022. That is it. Because that 2022 was I moved in the middle of July across country that year, and it was just impossible for me to keep up my average, right, that year. But even that year, with only making 12 drawings, I think I still out-attacked the people attacking me. So there's no guarantee, no matter how big of an artist you are, no matter how much you make videos about it, or you talk about it on Twitch, or there's no guarantee that people are going to draw for you. You just kind of got to go in it for your own growth. You need to focus on what can you do, because that's what you can control, right? You can't control what other people do. You can't control who draws for you. What you can control is what you do. And what I recommend is set a goal for yourself. Know what you want. Yeah, see, Random Slimer says my goal this year was 50 and I'm already in the hundreds. That's fantastic. And you feel great about that, right? Oh, Nufflight, congrats on 200 attacks. Thank you so much. I was actually really excited about that when I hit my 200 with this doggy drawing right here. That was number 200. So this is 201. So yeah. But totally, 100%. Set goals for yourself and focus on meeting your goals, whether that's a number, like how many attacks you want to make, or if it's a skill you want to learn, or a program you want to learn for ArtFight, and you're using ArtFight to like really get that practice in. If you focus on that, you're going to walk away from ArtFight with a positive experience. You're going to be happy you did ArtFight if you're focusing on what you can do and not on what other people can do for you. So I would say the same thing to anybody on TikTok or wherever they are that they're upset and complaining about their ArtFight ratios and being or feeling ignored. And I'm not saying like boo-hoo that you feel ignored. I know that that sucks. I don't want anybody to feel that way, obviously. But the best thing you can do about it is focus on your contributions instead of focusing on what you're not getting. Does that make sense? I know I already said it like probably too many times, so I'm gonna just stop saying it. But yeah, Random Summer says, yes, I'm very proud the ArtFight Discord fears me now. Well, that's one way to look at it. Webstar Michaela, hello, welcome. Well, it's my first ArtFight, and I just wanted to say having your stream in the background while I draw is really relaxing and helping me focus. I am so glad to hear that. That is such a compliment. Thank you so much for saying that. I really am glad that my streams are conducive with like hanging out and drawing together. I think that that's really, honestly, the best I could hope for, and I'm really glad to hear that. I'm gonna color these eyes real quick before we move on to skin tone. Here we go. We're gonna use the darker green on top. It's so subtle. I don't think we're gonna like really be able to see this gradient too well, but you know, it was worth a try to add that in there. And now I've got like this stack of markers going under. I've also got like a watch tan. I've got this stack of markers, like they're gonna roll off at some point. But now I've got these two colors for the skin tone. I'm gonna try my best to blend these. It's kind of a really like fine size. Like if you look at the whole book, this is a marker. This is the book. This drawing is the size of a marker. So please, you know, when you're like, if you're evaluating me, just keep in mind how small the space I'm working with is, and I don't have zoom. I can't just zoom in and make it bigger to get into those like small spaces. So, you know, I ask for your leniency. I'm also gonna take a drink of coffee real quick because I'm like really thirsty. I keep watching others late night ArtFight streams that I missed here, says Moss. I know it's so hard not to just like veg out to those. I've been kind of watching them too. Like I'll go to bed, but then I'll have my phone and I'll be watching like Pilfer stream, or I'll watch Phoenix Mask or Already a stream because they stream so late. Hello, Tanila. How are you? Good to see you and welcome to the stream. Hello, Ram, by the way. Welcome. Good to see you. And Moss, if I didn't already say hi, hello. Tanila says, just dropping in. Well, I'm glad you were able to cruise by. I hope that while you're here, you enjoy the stream. And Neflet, it also helps to attack active people. That's 100% true, which is why in my other streams, I've already said it, so I'm gonna say it here too, because it bears repeating. The people in the chat, they're active players, you know this, because they're here talking about it. So if you're looking for somebody to attack, nudge, nudge, wink, wink, start exchanging your ArtFight names in the chat. I 100% encourage it. I do not care if you promote yourself in my chat. You can't drop links. Sorry, it's just you can't drop links. But what you can do is give us your ArtFight name and people can find you that way. So like let them know I'm on team Seafoam or I'm on team Stardust and my channel or my ArtFight name is this. And they'll go find you. Because again, like you just said, this is where the active players are at. Why would you not want to take advantage of that? If you want to attack people who are actively attacking back, this is the time and the place to find them. 100%. I agree. Couldn't agree more. That was a really good point. I'm glad you made it. Oh no, I colored in the headband. No, that's okay. I have a whiteout marker. I can fix it. I'm doing RPG drawings. Give me your characters or else, says Bingo Ned. Bingo Ned's RPG characters are so cute. Oh my gosh. Okay, for real. Can we, sorry, I've got to do a little bragging real quick. We're going to switch screens again because you need to see this. I'm not even exaggerating. Bingo Ned has come up with like this. What is this? What is random Slimer? How did you do it so fast? Oh my gosh, that's so beautiful. Is this my tiefling? I'm betting from the colors. It is, it's my tiefling. Oh my gosh, it's so beautiful. Oh, I love that they're like kind of see-through. It looks so aquatic. You guys, if you don't know, like you're gonna know. When you see, once I open this, you're gonna know. Like this 100% is Criella. You can tell, right? Like, just take a look. This is her. That's definitely 100% her. New immediately, thank you so much. That looks beautiful, and that is so my character. I feel it, and this is definitely Greethan. I can tell already. It's weird how you're able to make these. I think you made one for Pilfer, right? You're able to make these, and we can just tell like immediately without even scrolling what character it is. Yep, see, Greethan called it. 100%. You can see it right from this picture, and then we just back up. It's immediate. Immediately, you can tell. You've got a gift, my friend. You're able to convert characters into beads. That is insanely cool. Thank you so much for sharing that. I was gonna show you guys, that's right, I was gonna show you Bingo Ned's RPG attacks. Look at this. Isn't that the coolest thing? I mean, for real? We're going full screen, okay? Isn't this the coolest thing you've like seen all day? I don't know, like, I don't know what you guys have seen today, but this is cool. I think this is so cool. That's definitely the same color motif, says Bingo Ned. 100%. Those beads were on point, like the right shade and everything. I don't know what your like palette looks like that you're working with, but you nailed it. Tanilla, also, I'm Seafoam. My user is Tanilla A. Feel free to check out my characters. Bingo Ned. She's Nephlite has some RPG characters for you, and this is what the attacks look like. This is my webtoon baddie. This is Marty or Martha. We talked about it a little bit earlier about how my webtoon is about an old lady protagonist saving a magic kingdom, and this is her in Bingo Ned's style, and they turned it into like an RPG game. I want to play this game so bad. Like I like saw this, I was like, oh gosh, I wish this could be real because I want to play it. It's like, I just love it. I love it so much. I can't wait to add it as featured fan art in the webtoon, like one of the future chapters. And when people see this, I can't wait. I hope they comment on it because it's just too cool. It's just way, way, way too cool. So yeah, I just had to like deviate for a second to show you guys that. Tanilla, oh, I tagged myself, haha, it's Tanilla A with 2 A's instead of 1 at the end. Yeah, the double A shows up for us. Bingo Ned says, I don't know how to process praise. Well, get used to it, pal, because you did a great job and you deserve to be praised for it. So, I don't know, just, I guess, adapt or get used to it or something, okay? Thanks. All right, we're gonna keep coloring our girl here because we are, I'm doing a lot of talking and I want us to be able to, what color is this? Am I using the right color? I am not. This is not the color I wanted for shading. It's working because I'm layering the original color on top of it, but that's not the right color. This is the color I wanted for shading. So let's come back in here and do those spots again. Nose, good. Hair, I'm gonna come in here and do that. Same thing here. And then, yeah, we're gonna keep going. So, what were we saying? I don't remember. I got distracted by trying to swap markers. Sometimes like you saw with the purple, I will forget to check the cap and just open a marker and start coloring, and it won't even be the right one. And then I'm like in full panic mode, like, okay, now it's time to do a salvage job. We gotta save this because I went off the rails a little bit. Bingo said my account is the same as it is here, by the way. BingoNet, correct? Yes. And Serby says I am Seafoam. My art fight is Tommy Cerberus, and I always revenge. This is what's up, people. You need to network with the live chat because those are the live players. I endorse, totally and fully and completely endorse you exchanging information and becoming ArtFight friends. Be ArtFight friends. This is how you grow your ArtFight friends, especially if it's your first year. It's okay to reach out to a stranger who is also looking to connect on ArtFight and find some ArtFight friends to draw. This is what we're doing, and we're hanging out, of course. Even if that's not what you're doing, you're obviously still welcome. We will still hang out. We're still gonna make art and have a great time. I need to take these glasses off for a second so I can see what I'm doing. Yeah. So we're gonna just come in here and shade just a little bit under the hand. Just a little bit more. I know it's like such a tight space to be trying to shade anything, but we're doing it because I think it needs to be done. All right. And again with the ear, I think we just need, I think it like blended a little bit more than I wanted. I wanted a little bit of a harder edge, to be honest. So I'm just going over that again. I think she looks freaking stunning. What do you guys think? Honestly, super happy with her colors right now. I just need to come in here with, oh no, I went outside the line again. Like pirate it up, eye patch Perry it up, close one eye so I can find the lines. And what am I doing? Why am I making such a mess? Didn't I go to the lines? I did down here, so let's clean this up a little bit too. And you guys can see that. I'm just trying to like use this jelly roller to fix a couple minor mistakes. Netflix says won't promise anything to reduce stress, perfectionism, and all, but I love your characters. For BingoNet, yeah, amazing characters. Absolutely 10 out of 10 characters. I think BingoNet is also kind of working their way up to doing a comic as well, a web comic. I don't know if the intention is to put it on Webtoon or not. I won't speak for them, but I'm pretty sure, and BingoNet, you can correct me if I'm wrong, I'm pretty sure their characters on their ArtFight profile are part of their web comic story. It's just not like public yet. So, you know, if you want to do like I do with some of my ArtFight friends and follow them and each year check in to be like, oh, did they publish that story so I can read it yet? Because I do that. I know I'm not the only one. I've been doing that for years with another art fighter called Inspired Artist. If you're looking for somebody else, I know they're not here in the chat, but I'm gonna just really big butt real quick. Another one who's, and yeah, we'll just stop at BingoNet's page real quick. BingoNet has some amazing characters, so creative. I love the world building in these characters. That one I haven't seen before, that's cool. Like, look at this cute little guy. He's so cute, bona fide little guy. And look at him, like, hang off the bottom of this broom. And then we have our other friend here, Hestia. She's super cute. Such a cutie. Look at that. Look at that face. Who wouldn't love that face? So beautiful. Yeah, just so many great characters. Lillian, who's like boss babe, certified boss babe. I drew this. Hey, that's so cool. My picture made it into the references. Yeah, I drew this, I don't know, last year or the year before? Yeah, technically speaking, BingoNet is also one of my ArtFight friends. I come back and try to draw for them or check on them and see how they're doing on a regular basis too. So that's really fun. The person I wanted to show you, because just to make a point, was Inspired Artist. And Inspired Artist has a story in progress. And, like, you can kind of see here, like, everything's linked and they're explaining the links between their characters. And if we go down to characters, view all, Just look at this art. Is this not like absolutely stunning? Like, let me open one of these. Look at this girl. Look at that. Look at that. Look at, why are we not full screen? Look at this beautiful character. So lovely. And the backgrounds have gotten better and better every year. I should show you some of the attacks to show you like some of the backgrounds. I think this is the one I was planning on attacking this year, but then I got like stuck on the revenge chain, so I haven't drawn her yet, but I still hope to. I'm crossing my fingers, you guys can't see it. But I still hope to attack this character at some point this year, because that's like the one I want to draw this year. Every year I try to knock out another one of her characters from her story. I've done this guy, Emilios. I've drawn him. I drew Tyra last year. My first year I drew Elodie right here. And yeah, here's Elodie. And if I go over to attacks, this was in 2020. So this was like freaking 4 years ago. Wow, it's been 4 years. But yeah, I drew this version of Elodie for her, and I'm still quite proud of it. I know that there's things I would do differently now, but I still love it. And I think it was a pretty decent attack, if I'm allowed to say that. But yeah, the point being is not my attack. The point being, Inspired Artist is one of those players who I only know her through ArtFight. And I've been following her since 2020. And I love her characters. I love her designs. I love her world building in the descriptions of her characters. And I'm really excited to see where this story goes, even though it's not out yet. So there are ways to kind of like connect with people. I didn't mean to open a new tab. You can connect with people and kind of get them hooked on your story without even knowing it when you're playing ArtFight. And so folks like me will end up coming back and checking on your progress each year. And I'm really excited for the day that one of these years I'm going to come back and that story is going to be out. And there's going to be a link in the description to her story. And I am just going to go ham. I'm going to like read it all. I'm going to like be up all night bench reading. And I'm really excited for that. So if you also have stories around your characters, do not be shy about like telling people that they're a part of a story or part of a universe you're working on, because sometimes you never know. You never know who's going to be a fan of your early work and who's going to follow your progress from day one. All right, that said, I think we're good on coloring our friend here. So now it's time to work on Arlo, and that means I need to pick out some colors for Arlo. And you guys can't see the reference anymore, but I can. So I hope you don't mind. I'm gonna look at these. I'm gonna kind of like compare it to my screen, which is like up there. And I'm gonna pick some colors. And I'll try where it makes sense to reuse colors so that we can kind of have like, anytime I'm putting characters together that aren't part of the same universe, and I'm trying to make it look cohesive, I look for similar colors that I can carry over from one character to another so they can have that in common that will kind of like unify them. In his case, he's a very muted palette of like browns and grays. So I think we might be able to reuse the same gray that we have here. It's actually a green gray, but we're gonna use the same gray that's on her bodice. So if I can find that, I think it's this one. Yeah. We're gonna use that for his gray, and that's what color his pants are. And then we can try, I think I'm gonna keep this, the lighter tone for her skin tone for the darker part of his sweater. And then we're gonna need to pick some complementary colors. So let's do this. We're gonna need, first of all, okay. I know this is not the most exciting part, picking colors, but we're gonna do this. I think brown gray, maybe. Let's see, where is the thin crimson? Brown gray. They're not really in the same family as far as like warm and cool. This is a little bit cooler. What I might try to do is this brown gray and warm gray, I accidentally like overlapped them here, but I do like these two colors, and I think that will work well for the skin tone of Arlo. So let me show you Arlo real quick. Let's revisit Arlo. Okay, this is what I'm looking at. I'm gonna go grab those two colors I just mentioned, and we're gonna get started. Yeah, okay. I think what I'm gonna have to do is get these on the page before I can figure out how dark to go with the brown of his sweater. So we're gonna work with these 3 colors first, and then we're gonna like sort of like do a temperature read, you know, like we're gonna check in with ourselves and see where we wanna go with the colors from there. How are you guys doing, by the way? I know it's been, how long has it been? We've been streaming for an hour. We've been streaming for 1 hour and a few minutes over. How are you guys doing? Let's check in and see. What are you guys working on? Are you just having your morning cup of tea or coffee? Where are we at? It is time for a check-in. Webstar Michaela says, I just realized I haven't been watching the stream in real time. I just got to the part that you read my comment, which for you was about 15 minutes ago. Oh no. Yeah, sometimes you just gotta refresh. Sometimes, yeah, I don't even know why that happens. It happened to me a couple of times watching Pilfer yesterday, I think, or the day before. Pilfer's been streaming like every day. He's like on it. He literally took time off work to be able to do ArtFight for like 2 weeks. I think he took the first 2 weeks of July off so that he could just kind of like stream every day and work on his animation. He's doing an animated mass attack. It is insane. I cannot wait to see that finished result. But that aside, let's keep moving forward with our check-in. Ram says, I'm gonna draw back the person I'm doing a revenge chain with. That sounds like a really good plan. And Serby, I've got 2 panels left to finish the chapter I'm working on for my comic. That is amazing. Way to go. Way to knock out that work. Comic work is busy work, kind of, because it is a lot. There's a lot. Like, it's not 1 drawing. It's not 2 drawings. It's not even 3 drawings. It might be 4 drawings if you're doing one of those like 4 panel comic strips, but usually it's a lot more. So it can be pretty exhausting to do that many illustrations just for 1 product, but it's worth it. It's worth it when you're able to tell your story. And I feel like even though I haven't gotten to the end of mine yet, I've like hit the turning point of the adventure. Like we just crossed, like spoiler kind of, I'm not gonna give too much away, but we've just sort of, in the hero's journey, we just sort of completed the first challenge of the hero's journey. So we did crossing the threshold, we introduced the new like environment and world, and then we just ran into like the first challenge, the first chance for Marty to prove herself. So we just got over the first of like 3 challenges in the typical hero's journey sort of formula. Really excited about that because we're picking up speed, we're gaining momentum in this adventure, and I'm excited for the day it's finished and I can look back and be like, wow, I really did that. I really told that story. And I have this whole beautiful visual recollection of the whole story. It's gonna be so crazy to have like your entirely illustrated story. Does that not just sound nuts when you like say that out loud? My entire illustrated story. That is a crazy thought, but it's really cool if you can get there. Power to you. Keep working on it. Keep doing it. Bingo Ned says, the assembly line method that Jazz proposed is actually goated. Yeah. Jazz has been, oh my goodness. Jazz, are you in the chat? They're in the Discord. They're just blowing me away with just how much, the sheer volume of attacks that person can draw every day is mind-blowing. Absolutely mind-blowing. The quality of the attacks, mind-blowing. Friend, I can show you. I keep forgetting I can show you because we don't have to keep it on the sketchbook. We can bring it over here to the Discord. So let's expand the Discord for a second. Beautiful drawing, by the way, Vexy, but we're gonna switch real quick. We're just gonna jump over to ArtFight real quick. Lemon over here dropping in a new attack, which looks beautiful, by the way. Let's give that a heart. Very quickly, we're gonna heart that, and then we're gonna scroll up and find right here, boom. I knew it wouldn't take long because Jazza has just been on it. Not Jazza, Jazz. Jazz has just been on it, and they are just, look, I mean, stunning, right? Like the quality of the work. You can just click through these. They're amazing. They're such high quality, and they're doing this many, like you see this huge like brick of like 10 drawings. They're doing like 10 a day. I mean, the quality of this is above and beyond what I would expect for 10 drawings a day. And we scroll up and we see it again. Like all of these are good. Lunar Garden, hello, by the way, you're in the chat, and this one is a mass attack by Lunar Garden. Also a lot of work. Huge amount of effort went into this, I can tell, and it looks fantastic. And oh, Tommy, by the way, if you guys, Tommy Cerberus is also in the chat. Look at this. Is that not just mind-blowing? They're creating, you guys are so talented, so talented. Creating animated VTuber attacks out of people's characters. And this one is honestly so unconventional. It's amazing. Really, really stunning work. And then we're gonna get back up here to yet another batch by Jazz. Another 10 for like another day, another 10 drawings, and the quality is out of this world. I mean, look at this. Super stunning, just beautiful work. Color me impressed, right? I am gushing over your guys' amazing talents, amazing skill. I'm so proud of all the people in my Discord. This is my character that Jazz did for me, and now I've got to come up with a really amazing revenge for Jazz because I cannot get over how beautiful this is. That is my steampunk pirate character, Caitlin, my near and dear. I love her so much. And that artwork just blew me away. My mind is blown. I don't know what to do. Like, how am I gonna revenge that? I don't know. It's gonna be hard. But that's kind of like, if you guys aren't in the Discord, I invite you to join it because there's a lot of really cool people in the Discord and they make great friends. So if you're looking for art friends, if you're looking for an art community, we may be small, but we are mighty. And I invite you to join. That mouth was a challenge, says Serby. I bet. Hello, J1K. Welcome. Good to see you on stream. So glad that you were able to make it. We are working on a double revenge. These characters do belong to two different people, but I added them into the same revenge because I just thought they would look good together. I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy, but I saw these two characters and I was like, yes. These two in the same composition. I'm here for it. Hopefully they are too. I hope they like it. I do what I can to try and honor everybody's character. I never want to like shortchange anyone, so I'm trying really hard. If it ever doesn't look my best quality, I really so super sincerely hope that you guys are going to have like mercy on me because I am doing this on paper with markers for the first time ever in my life. I am not exaggerating at all when I say that. That is not like me just trying to get like sympathy. Like I've genuinely never ever had a sketchbook. I tried to start one last year on my channel. It was a travel sketchbook. I literally have it right here so you can see that I'm not lying. Like this is my first ever sketchbook. And I got this far into it. Like that many pages, that's it. And that's ever. And this was like my first time using markers was coloring this. And then the rest of them like aren't really even colored because I was learning. I'm learning how to use pencils, you know? Like I've been digital for 10 years. So in here I tried a little bit of markers again. I used some colored pencils here. So I'm like super new to this. I had somebody say, I submitted a tag and they were like, oh my gosh, your marker work is so excellent. I think it was, boom. Which one was it? It might've been this one. It might've been this one. And they were like, your marker work is so good. Like, wow. And I was just, oh, you should have seen my face. I had like stars in my eyes. I was so happy with that compliment because I honestly am learning how to do this right now. Like during ArtFight, I'm learning how to do this. This is not something I've practiced before and I am doing the best that I can. I am watching a bunch of YouTubers who do this regularly to try and learn how to do it well so that I'm not going through like that painful growing phase as long as I don't want to go through that any longer than I have to. So I am watching a bunch of tutorials. I'm watching a lot of Sketch with Me sketchbook videos and sketchbook tours to try to learn to, absorb through my eyeballs, through osmosis, how this works. And I don't know. I really hope that nobody's disappointed with the fact that I chose to go traditional this year. And if they are, you know, it's not like digital's gone forever. I still do a lot of digital. I'm going to continue digital on my channel indefinitely. So it's a balancing act, and we all need to like give ourselves time and space to grow in the areas that we're not strong in. And I've been afraid to do that for so long, especially with a YouTube channel, you guys. Like, honestly, man, if you have a YouTube channel and you start with like any size audience, it doesn't have to be a big one. You might feel pressured if a video that you put out, you try something different, and you put out a video and nobody watches it, or like only a few people watch it, like your super close friends watch it, and then like nobody else clicks on it. You might feel like discouraged to try experimenting again. You might be like, wow, that did not work. Let's never do that again, because nobody watched it or nobody was interested or liked it. That's how I have definitely felt with a lot of my experimental videos, where I tried something that wasn't what I normally make. I spent like a whole year doing my travel sketchbook series because I really, really wanted to learn traditional art. And I thought that like if I do it by going to all these cool places, maybe people will watch it, because even if the art's not good, they'll get to see all these cool places around the world, right? That plan sounded good in my head. It didn't really work out in real life. Like, people just weren't that interested. And that's okay. Nobody owes me that. Nobody owes me their time. Nobody owes me their views. But it does make you think as a YouTuber that you should stay where you're strongest. And that's unfortunately a really bad mindset. Don't just stay where you're strongest because you're worried people won't like it. They won't like your growth, or they won't support your growth. It's really important that you support your growth. And that's what I'm trying to do for myself as well. Especially with my traditional art. And you guys are here, and I'm so thankful that you guys are here, by the way, while I'm sitting here with a marker in my hand talking about nobody wants to watch me draw traditional art. You guys are watching me, so I'm not trying to discredit you. I am so thankful you're here. I super appreciate you giving me the time of day and letting me learn how to draw on paper during ArtFight with your characters. So again, you guys are amazing. Thank you so much. I'm not complaining about anybody here, for sure. I'm not complaining about anybody at all. Like I said, nobody owes me views, but I do appreciate them. So thank you for giving me views. You're amazing. Serby says, if someone is disappointed with a traditional or experimental drawing, they are in the wrong. LOL. That's what's so great about ArtFight. It's testing new things. I 100% agree with you. ArtFight is 100% about trying new things. If it wasn't, why would we be trying to draw characters we're not used to? Right? Like, that's 100% it. You're trying to draw characters you're not used to drawing. You are pushing yourself outside of your box. And that is honestly such an amazing thing about ArtFight, that even if you've done it a dozen times before, it's always worth coming back, because there's always gonna be something new you haven't done yet. And that is the point of ArtFight. It's an amazing, beautiful, wonderful thing. 100% agree with you. Could not agree more. I like that this character has these two. It's got like these colors. I don't know. I think it's like because it's a anthro character. So this is fur, but it's got like spotted fur, kind of. You know. So like these colors are gonna kind of like come and go, and they're gonna run into each other, and then they're gonna fade away, and we're gonna get like variation. It's kind of fun. We're able to sort of like create little spots, like spotted fur. I like it. It looks good. It looks good to me. What do you guys think? Random Slimer, I think I have finally won my revenge war against Liz. For now. I can just hear the dun 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 in the background. For now. You may have won for now. Bingo Ned, if I made something that someone was disappointed with, I think I'd actually stop drawing forever until the end of time. No, don't let other people control your love for drawing. Please don't. It would be disheartening for sure. I can understand the fear of, because I obviously still have a lot of fear. Like, I've got perfectionist tendencies. I've talked about it before with you guys. I have a lot of fear of people not liking my work or it not being good enough. And I know that that's not unique to me. I know like so many people go through that. And so if I talk about it, it's not because I think that I'm a unique case. It's because I know it's a relatable feeling and that a lot of you guys are right there with me. And we all have to remind each other and remind ourselves, it's not about what other people think. Like, sure, it helps. Of course it helps. That positive reinforcement is so wonderful and so welcome. But we can't depend on that. We have to be in it for our own growth and our own satisfaction in our work. And if you like doing art to make other people smile, obviously keep doing what you're doing if that's what motivates you, because I know I'm sort of on that train too. That's why I so rarely draw my own characters unless it's for Webtoon. Like, literally, I've drawn my own characters for Webtoon. It's the most consistently I've drawn a character of my own ever. Because mostly my entire, like, if I went back through my DeviantArt history, which I'm going to pain you guys to deal with, okay? We're gonna, oh my gosh, we're going to take a look. Against my better judgment, we're going to go to my DeviantArt account. So this is where I used to post everything. And if we go click all, my Webtoon, which this is like, I tried for a hot second to turn my Webtoon into pages, and then I like decided it wasn't something I wanted to do. I just wanted to keep it in scrolling format. But that's the most consistent I've ever drawn a character of my own. These are D&D characters. For my friends, yeah, mine's in there, but I also drew my friend's characters, and then I never drew her again. That's why it's the only reference picture of my D&D character on there, because I only drew her the one time. This is my character, Caitlin, we talked about earlier, that Jazz drew for me, my steampunk character. I have had this character since 2011. She is probably my most drawn character that I've done of my own. And even then, since 2011, it's 2024 now, that's 13 years, maybe? 13 years I've had this character. I've drawn her maybe 13 times. It's crazy. But what I have drawn a ton of are my friends' characters. These are all my friends' characters. Both of these comic pages, friends' characters. This, friends' characters, friends' characters, friends' characters. These are my friends' characters. That's Kate with her partner. So that one's kind of mine. Friends' characters, 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 like friends' characters, all of this. This entire thing, friends' characters. All my entire DeviantArt, with few exceptions, friends' characters, friends' characters, friends' characters. That one's mine, but I didn't draw it. That was a commission that I ordered of my character. This one right here. Commission of my character with a friend's character. That's a friend's character. These are not even friend's characters. That's fan art. Yeah, there's Kate. It took me scrolling that far to find another picture of Kate. This is 2012. So that first one I showed you was last year. The next one down I drew in 2012. That's how long it's been since I've drawn my own character. So just like as a little history of my personal motives as an artist, I am not motivated by my own characters, to be honest. I'm motivated by drawing other people's characters because I like making other people happy. And I like sharing a love for the artwork with other people. Like, if I draw my own character but nobody cares about that character, it's not going to be as fulfilling to show it to people who are like, oh, that's nice. And then they move on, they look away, they gave it like that much. That's how long they looked at it. But if you draw their character, they're going to look at it longer and they're going to appreciate it more. And so it just kind of feels, for me personally, I think it feels just a little bit more incentivized to draw other people's characters because it feels like it gets appreciated just a little bit more. That doesn't mean that that's better. It doesn't make it worse. It's just a personal choice, personal preference, and everybody is different. But that kind of, for me, explains what motivates me. And the whole point of me bringing that up is what being said about, like, if somebody doesn't like my art for them, I'll just stop drawing entirely. I understand that feeling. I do. Please don't let that happen. Do not let somebody else's disinterest stop you from making art. You got to keep doing it regardless of somebody else's reaction. Do it because you like to draw. Serby says, I just hit a random key on my keyboard, no idea what, and it insta-closed all internet pages I had open. I didn't even know there was a key that did that. I did not know that either. That is interesting to learn. Maybe don't hit that key again. All right, so I think we've got ourselves... Oh no, I forgot the legs. We're gonna need to color some legs here. Hang on. There's just a little bit showing out under, like, these are like knee length pants. So we got like a little bit going on down there. Oh, and the paw. The paw. We gotta have the paw. So we're gonna come in here and add some color to this paw and then to this one. And I'm gonna do the like mixed colors since he's got the two fur tones. Now I think we're ready to finish picking our colors for the clothing, and then we can try to like make the rest of this cohesive. Try to tie it all together to make it look like it was one intentional piece where the colors were picked to go into this picture versus picked separately for character palettes and then smushed together, if that makes sense. Lunar Garden, I learned how to use any of my brushes as an eraser. I've used my program for almost 10 years now. That's really cool. You like discovered that you could do that. That's gonna be super handy for making like textures or erasing in certain like patterns or shapes. That'll be cool. JK1, I also will say one of my favorite payoffs is drawing the same character a year or more apart and seeing the improvement, having done that a couple of times. I agree. I haven't tried that, I don't think recently, but I do agree that that's a really solid plan, goal, way to motivate yourself, to feel satisfied with your growth and improvement. I think that's a good way to sort of like approach ArtFight too. Highly recommend. 10 out of 10. Hope you love your sleepy fridge, says J1K. I'm so sorry it took me this long to read that. Yes, I do. I think it's super cute that you drew him asleep. Finally, he is not being a grumpy grump because he is asleep now. Because my fridge Sona is quite the grumpy character. I don't know how many of you are familiar with him, but just take my word for it. And then Tanilla, go check ArtFight, says Random Slimer. I think you may have yourselves an attack if you do that. Serby, that mouth was a challenge. Oh yeah, that goes back to when I was showing you the Discord and the creations everybody else was making. Webstar Michaela says, it is currently 7 p.m. where I live and I'm working on attack for the character Coupette, and then they dropped the number and Valentina number as well in a poker card theme. Also, I'm sipping some cold raspberry Coke. And Lunar Garden is going to attack more friends and mutuals today. I learned how to use, oh, that's right. So that's, yeah, friends and mutuals. A great way to make those friends and mutuals, again, is to connect with these folks, these fine folks in Discord, in the chat, from live streams, people who are just active and communicating openly over YouTube or in these communities, these art communities on Discord or what have you. Like I said, I can't promote it enough. I've made plenty of ArtFight friends this way. If you're not getting a lot of attacks your first year, do not be discouraged. Just focus on you and what you can make and grow those relationships over time. We all start somewhere. That's where I started too. And I can vouch for it. I think it's a solid way to develop your art skills, your art community, your relationships with other artists, and to find people who vibe with you and like what you like. Speaking of vibing, we're probably been like not having music for a while now because I forgot to set this to 100 songs instead of 30. So we stopped like at 30 songs, however many minutes ago that was. But we are back. So I apologize for that. It's probably been quite dry listening to me talk with no music at all. Lunar Garden says, I learned how to use, I keep trying to read the same comment. Forgive me for that. We're gonna keep going with this color thing. Like I said, I gotta pick some more colors. I don't know, man. I don't know what we're gonna do. I think for like maybe some of these leafy things, we're gonna use the same green as her skirt just so that we can kind of like carry this color throughout. We can do that with the vines. This fella's hat, that I didn't color yet is the same color as his pants. So let's grab that color and we're gonna just like drop that in real quick. Get that color on the page. I don't know if it's meant to be like a shiny material hat, but I'm gonna try it with a little sheen and see if I like it. I did the sheen should have gone sideways, like her hair sheen, so we're gonna just fill that in, just because I don't want the lighting to be weird or inconsistent, if I can help it. So we're gonna just not make it shiny. Okay, cool, so we know we're gonna reuse these colors. So we're gonna hold these off on the side. I think we might be done with these ones. I think we're done with these ones. I am gonna use this yellow again for the pollen-y part of the flowers, so we'll hold on to that. And I might try the violet of her shirt, her blouse, for these kind of like lotus flower prints over here. So I'm gonna do that, and then I'm like, I should be finishing his shirt and sweater first, but I kind of just want to hold off on that. I feel like I need to find more of the picture before I can get those colors in there. So we're gonna try that first. And we'll start with the easy part, which is just coloring these in with yellow. I didn't even notice the music stopped, said Moss. Yeah, if you guys do ever notice that, just let me know. If it feels like I'm talking if I'm talking your ear off and it just feels like, man, she just keeps going, then it might mean that the music stopped and all you can hear is my annoying voice. So yeah, just let me know. Like, oh, I think your music stopped. I don't hear any tunes. Bring it back. Please. Please bring it back. Alright, so we have gone another 30 minutes. What is the vibe check? What are you guys up to? Have you completed any extra attacks or revenges? Where are we so far with that? Let me know, let me know. Share your progress with us in the chat because inquiring minds want to know. And by inquiring minds, I mean me. I want to know. And other people in the chat might be curious as well. You don't know. They might want to know too. It's possible. They might just be too shy to ask. That could be it. Your voice is not annoying, says Lunar Garden. Aw, thank you. I'm glad. It's annoying to me, but I feel like maybe everybody kind of thinks that about their own voice. I don't know too many people who like their own voice. Bingo Ned, I'm still in my habit of trying too hard with my attacks and getting way deeper than I initially planned to. That can be, yeah, it can be kind of frustrating because you're like, man, I wanted to do a quick one this time, and then none of them are quick. They all take forever, and you're just kind of like, why do I keep overcommitting? But in the end, you might be glad you did. You never know. It could turn out that you're like, yeah, that wasn't my goal, but then, I don't know, I kind of like it. It worked out or something. You know, like that could be the way. I've done that before where I'm like, why did I overcommit? I was trying to be faster because I owe like 1 million revenges or something. I wanted to be quicker. What happened, you know? And then, but it's not the worst thing sometimes. I don't know. It's all relative. So really you get to decide for yourself how you feel about that. Okay, so maybe that blended out. I honestly can't tell. You'd be surprised how much of this stream I have not been able to tell what I was doing. Because again, I cannot see. I've got these colored glasses on that are just making everything warm. Everything looks so warm. And then I've got one eye that like wants everything to be like doubled, like blurry and doubled, so. I think I'm doing okay. I think I'm doing okay for the circumstances. Hopefully you guys think so too. Ram says, we're having a birthday party because my little brother just turned 12. Happy birthday to your little brother. But I went upstairs because he and my cousins and nieces are chaotic now. And they're upstairs you're upstairs trying to draw in peace, but they're so loud you can't focus. Good luck. That sounds like a struggle, but you know, at least they're having a good time, right? Like if they're being super hyped and loud, you know he's having, or you can at least surmise that most likely your little brother's having a good time. So that's good. We should hope that on his birthday he would be having a good time. One can only hope, right? I have a cat that just jumped up behind me, so now I've got a cat trying to take over my chair. I knew it was you, Shrimp. It's always Shrimp. He's the one that, like, I have a cat named Shrimp who, he'll squeeze into the space, because I sit forward in my chair, especially when I'm drawing. He'll squeeze into the space behind me and the chair back, and then he'll put his feet on the back of the chair and his back against my back, and he'll just try to push, like he'll try to stretch out and push me off the chair. He's so ornery, and he thinks he needs so much space when he's just a little cat. He's not even a big cat. He's not that big, but he thinks he is. I think Pilfer, once I told that story of how my cat does that, and he drew a picture of it. I wish I knew where it was. I'd show you guys. But he drew a picture of my cat stealing my chair. Lunar Garden says, I forgot I didn't post the attacks I did yesterday, so they are posted. I'm glad that you were able to get those out so that the people that got attacked can see them. I hope you get lots of beautiful comments back, and they super appreciate it. How are you guys about commenting back? Be honest. Are you really good about responding to your attacks with comments or your defenses? Or are you shy and you like take a really long time to think about what you're gonna say, and sometimes you hesitate? It's okay. It's okay if you're a hesitator. But let me know, like, what is like the consensus? Who comments right away? The words just flow. You like are so amazed and you're ready to like tell people how good the art is or how much you love how they did your character. Or are you an overthinker? Do you overthink it? Because I feel like we had this conversation with Friendy on one of her recent streams, and she's an overthinker. She's like, oh, I want to tell people I love my art, or the art that they draw for me of my characters, but I'm so nervous to say anything. And so she's like, she's an overthinker for sure. Not me. I'm not an overthinker. The words just come out. I just talk like blah, 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 like I do now. Like I'm talking on streamer right now. I never shut up. But let me know. Are you guys overthinkers? Are you like, does it just, the praise just emulates off of you and you let them know immediately how beautiful it is as soon as you see it? Random Slimer says, I've had so many attacks and I love them all, but I just can't comment. I have 70 attacks right now. You can't comment because you're overwhelmed, or because you're trying to focus on drawing, and so you're not doing comments until you have some free time? Is that what you mean? I'm not sure I understood what you meant, but let me know. Let me know if that's what you meant. I can't tell if these look like anything. They don't look very blended. I feel like I'm gonna have to come back and like double down on the shaded part of the leaf, because it's just not showing up on the first side. So we're gonna just kind of like come through. We're gonna come through a second. We're gonna do a second pass. Come through a second time. Oh, buddy, please don't cry. You can't have my chair right now. Sorry, I'm using it. You can't have it. Can you hear him? Can you hear him yelling at me because he wants my chair? We're having a catastrophe right now. My cat's on the warpath. He can't have my chair. There will be consequences. Bingo Ned says, if you're overthinking, then key smashes always do the trick when words fail. I concur. I concur. I've never read a keyboard smash and thought, that was rude. I've always think, oh, they're so excited. Keyboard smash is effective. 10 out of 10 would recommend. Webstar Michaela says, I watch a lot of art videos before it started, so I heard a million times thanking is etiquette. So I always thank when I get attacked. I'm a little sad though that my 9 attacks, I only got 4 thanks. I agree with that, to be honest. No matter how many years I've done this, if I post an attack and I come back a day or two later and the person hasn't said anything, but they were online, even though they don't owe you an attack or they don't owe you a comment, and I understand some people are just shy, so I definitely leave room for that in my head, like, oh, maybe they're just shy. It is a little sad when they don't say anything. It's like, oh, it's like, I just wanted to know what you think, and you haven't said anything yet. I agree. It's no matter how experienced you are with ArtFight, at least for me, I still get sad when I don't get at least some kind of a reaction. Nobody. No. I know. I know you went up. You can't have my chair. I'm sorry. Random Slimer says, like, I am trying to focus on attacking people and I just can't come up with creative comments anymore, so they all sound the same, and I can't find a way to express my love for the art. I feel that too. Honestly, that's also relatable, because when I am writing comments, I'm very cautious too about not letting them all sound the same. Like, I don't want anybody to ever assume or get the impression that I'm giving a canned response. Like, ever. I want them to always feel like I'm speaking directly to them and responding to their art. So I understand that feeling of not wanting to accidentally let somebody think or create a situation where they might get the impression that you're just giving them like a copy-paste reply. So I understand. I get that. I agree with you. That can be hard. Random Slimer says, I'm on mobile, so I cannot keyboard smash, sadly. You can fake it. You can fake a keyboard smash, just like, yeah, you can totally, like, you're like, oh, okay, well, AS, F, D, G, whatever. Like, you can totally fake a keyboard smash. Lunar Garden, I like putting my little emoticons in. I do too. That's the millennial in me. I love responding with emoticons. Like, if I could just speak straight emoji and not ever have to like speak real words when it comes to typing, I probably would if I thought that that would be sufficient. If you guys are in my Discord, you know how much I like emojis, because I respond to everything with an emoji. Like, it is the best. I love answering stuff with pictures. Like, whoever invented the emoticon is a genius. I love picture replies. It's the artist in me, I swear. I just want to reply to everything with a picture. Yeah, I mean, sometimes emoticons alone aren't enough, and so you gotta add a little extra. You gotta say a word or two, but it sure is nice. Sure is nice to be able to start with an emoticon and like build up with a word or two, just to sort of like drive home what you're trying to say. Serby says, I feel like even a simple thank you is more meaningful than nothing at all, but that's just my opinion. I think that's a pretty universal opinion, Serby. I don't think you're being unreasonable there. I think that's totally understandable. I agree with you. Even if you can't come up with something super unique to say, but you've left somebody hanging for several days, maybe it's time to just say thanks with like a heart or something, so that they don't think it's a sarcastic thanks. Like, if you just say thanks but like nothing else, maybe add a little, this is back to the emoticons, add like a little heart to your thanks so it doesn't sound sarcastic, so that it looks like you really mean it. Because yeah, that's better than nothing. When people say nothing, it can make you feel like they didn't even like it. I thought for several days, I was so nervous that Annie, what's her whole username? She's like, she comes to the streams a lot, and she's like a part of the same friend group with Pilfer and Already-ish, and so I see her a lot, and she drew me a really beautiful attack, and so I just revenged her recently, but I did like a group revenge. I like included her in a group revenge. I hit a couple people at the same time, kind of like this. And she didn't say anything for like multiple days. And I was like, oh no, she hates it. I thought for sure. I was like, she's just being polite and not saying anything. But she probably hates it. And then like eventually she was like, no, I don't hate it. I like it. You know, thank you so much for drawing my character. I appreciate it and all that. But like that long wait to see if she would say anything, to see if she liked it, that was like scary. I was like, oh no, I don't want to hurt her feelings. I don't want her to hate her. Like, I don't want her to think I didn't try hard enough or something. I hope she likes the drawing. She hasn't said anything. It's been a couple days. So yeah, it definitely, man, we can get the wrong impression so easily. When it comes to stuff like that, it's so easy to think just because somebody didn't say anything that they don't like it at all. So yeah, I agree. Etiquette. Who said it earlier that the etiquette was like driven home to them on YouTube way before ArtFight started? Webstar Michaela, yeah. How they're like, yeah, the etiquette I kept hearing over and over again. Make sure to say something, say thank you. That's why. That's why you gotta say thank you. Because people will think you hate it. I definitely thought that she hated it. Yeah, Webster said it. Yeah, that's such a valuable piece of information. I stand by that because you can really give some people anxiety just by not saying anything at all. And again, nobody has to say anything. You don't owe them any kind of reply. You don't have to say anything. But it sure helps. It definitely helps to get some kind of an answer when you draw somebody's character. I think I'm gonna have to do the hard part now, which is color this guy's outfit. Which is hard because I don't think I have these colors in marker form. Like if I show you, let me show you the reference again. Here's our reference. Okay, I'll make it bigger. This is Arlo, this is my reference. I'm trying to find a color that is between his skin tone, or tones, and those sweaters. Actually, I think the sweater might be the same. That might be the same color. In which case, at least the one of those colors, it's already picked out for me. What color did I use? Oh no, I have so many markers out. Which one was it? I don't know. What color did I use? I used these. I used warm gray. Wait a minute. And brown gray. Those were the two colors I used for his fur. So I think the darker one is what we need for that color, that part of the sweater. Okay. I think I can make this work. I think we can make this work. Okay. I have half of a plan. Half of a plan, maybe half of a plan will get me to the rest of it, to the other half. Somebody says, I had an attack where I drew like 5 of a person's characters last year and they didn't respond for a while. They had login time off, so you had no idea if they had seen or not, and you felt pretty bad. But I try not to let it get to me. Yeah, I think too that's why some people do turn off your option to see when they log in, because they don't want the pressure. Like they don't want to log in and then feel pressured to reply. And I think if you're the type of person who's really shy about writing replies, it might be a good idea just for everybody else's nerves that you turn off or make invisible when you're logged in. Just because if you're not able to reply to people until you've like given yourself some time to think about what you want to say, some folks might get the wrong impression if they know that you were online and then didn't say anything. Like how I felt when Annie didn't reply to my drawing of her character. They might think that you hate it and you're just being polite by saying nothing. It doesn't make it right, but oh no, this is the same color as his hands. What? This doesn't work? This is a terrible idea. Oh no. My half-baked plan has backfired on me. Now I need to bring out the jelly rollers to try and separate the paw from the sweater. Great. Maybe that will be enough. It'll have to be enough because you guys saw the reference, right? Like you saw what I was saying, how the sweater, this part of the sweater was the same color as the darker part of the fur in the reference. That's why I picked it. I just didn't think about the fact that they were overlapping here because his arms are crossed. So now I gotta create this sort of like outline to create separation from the two things. Hopefully that will be sufficient. Serby says that's why I turn mine off, because I don't sleep well, so sometimes I see an attack posted at like 1 a.m. and I don't want to respond till the morning. I think that's fair. Like, especially if you're just kind of like surfing your phone in the middle of the night and you're like, oh no, somebody attacked me, that's so cool, but I don't want to say anything dumb when I'm half asleep, so I'm gonna wait till I'm awake to reply. Yeah, I've definitely been there. I've definitely done that too. I don't have mine turned off, but I think it's, I'm super fast, usually with replies. Not with art. I'm not a fast artist. I don't draw quickly. We're still working on the same attack I started the stream with, so I'm not fast at art. Not particularly slow, but I'm also not speedy. I'm not really quick. But I will say with comments, I usually don't let it sit for too long. I'm usually very mindful to get back to them as soon as possible, especially if I've already seen it and I know I have my, like, Perry was online 1 hour ago turned on, you know. Sticky Art Shorts, hello and welcome to the stream. How are you today? I hope you're having a good weekend. So far, it has been a good weekend, despite the whole, you know, the whole eye trauma. Despite the eye trauma, it has been a good weekend so far. Speaking of, I like keep flipping the glasses up, but they're there for a reason. The glasses are there so I don't accidentally touch my eye and make it worse. So I gotta keep them on, even if it makes it hard to tell what color I'm using. I wonder if like next year I'll look back at this drawing and be like, wow, I can totally tell that I drew that when I was half blind, because it's awful or something. I wonder if next year I'm gonna come back and look at this and be like, wow. Like, yeah, I got LASIK again, because my eyes were epically bad to begin with, so then I had it once, and then I had to get it a second time, 6 months later in my left eye, because it wasn't corrected enough. And now, 2 years later, again, my right eye had gone very, very bad since the first LASIK in just 2 years. I couldn't see faces, I couldn't read road signs, it was like really bad. So I went back in on Wednesday last week to have the LASIK again in the right eye. So it was my third LASIK, third time. And something went wrong. We can't pinpoint exactly what, but they said that I definitely rubbed my eye, which I definitely did not do, because I've been wearing the goggles they gave me. I went to bed with these on, I woke up with them on, I did not rub my eye. And what I did do though, I will say, is when I was putting in the eye drops they gave me, because we have medicated eye drops, I did at one point stab myself in the eye. I like accidentally got too close to my eye because I couldn't see. I couldn't see how far away the eye drops were, and I did poke myself in the eye. I think that might have maybe done the damage. I don't know, but I'm also not going to admit to doing the damage because then I'm taking on liability when it might not have been my fault at all. It might have been the surgery just went wrong, whatever. Them taking the temporary lens off could have went wrong. The point is, my cornea, they create like a cornea flap for LASIK, for those that don't know. And then they open it up, they laser the inside of your eye so that they can fix what's wrong. And then they close the top part again. And then they put a lens over it overnight, the night of surgery. And the next morning you come back, they take the temporary lens off. And everything underneath should have like kind of sealed back closed. Mine did not seal back closed because mine got a wrinkle in it, and so the cornea flap is not closed over the laser hole. It's folded on itself, which is why I can't see. It's all blurry because it's kind of like wrinkled and doubled up. The layers are just, it's not supposed to be layered, and it is. Long story short, they now have to figure out how to undo that. And that nobody's available to do that, to fix that until Monday. So I'm waiting till Monday to get it fixed. I cannot see in my right eye. I can only see in my left eye. And I have to wear some kind of eye protection to make sure I don't accidentally touch my eye. Like I can't rub it. I mean, people touch their faces all the time and don't know it. So I have to have something on my face to make sure I don't touch my face. Specifically touch my eye. That's the story of my eye damage, so. Oh! And, interestingly enough, I will bring this screen back up for us. But that alarm that just went off, we're gonna do this. So hopefully flip it, flip it, flip it, flip it, flip it, flip it, flip it. You can do it, there we go. There we go. That alarm that just went off was actually telling me to put in my eye drops, so we're gonna take a quick break so I can do that, and I will be right back. It'll only take a minute. Sticky, you are not wrong. I honestly was so, or Bingo Ned said it, was that, Bingo said, how can they get away with saying, well, I guess your eyes are just bad for a few days. For 5 days. 5 days. I have to wait 5 days. Surgery was on Wednesday. I went back on Thursday for the follow-up, and they were like, oh yeah, your eye's messed up. It's pretty badly messed up. Come back on Monday. Because the surgeon is not in until Monday. But I was very surprised because explain to me, please, somebody explain to me how you can have a follow-up appointment for surgery. You have a follow-up appointment, you go in. Maybe this is normal and I'm just being crazy here. But you come in, and if the answer is anything but you're good to go, they're like, we don't know what to do because you're not good to go. Like if you come in and the answer is good to go, follow up, great. You came in, answer was good to go home, you're great. But if you come in and the answer is anything but we don't need to do anything, why is there not somebody there to do something? Like, why? Why am I having this follow-up appointment if the only thing you're prepared to do is nothing? They're only prepared to say you don't need any help. If you do need help, there's no surgeon there to help you. They're like, come back next week. Like, what? Why does this appointment exist? If you're only, like, why would you not be prepared for an answer other than you're fine? Yeah, bad scheduling, I agree. Especially because the clinic I go to has 2 surgeons, and they were both out on Thursday and Friday, and only one of them is back on Monday. Like, they couldn't coordinate their PTO to not be off at the same time. I don't, like, I just, that doesn't make a lot of sense to me. And maybe there's like, maybe it was an emergency. One of them was off and the other one had an emergency. I don't know. They're not going to tell me their business, and that's fine. But it definitely just did seem like kind of an odd solution. Like, how are you going to have me come in for this follow-up appointment but not be prepared to take care of anything if there's a mistake? Like, this is my vision, you know? Like, whatever. It's whatever. They'll get it fixed on Monday, hopefully, and everything is gonna be fine. And there will be nothing to complain about, and I'm gonna be like, actually, it wasn't that big a deal, everybody. Everything's fine. That's what I'm hoping. I'm really, really hoping. So that I can feel like everything's gonna be okay. Because, like, definitely, my eye right now is worse than it was before we went in for surgery. It's like, I could have just left it the way it was. It was better. As bad as it was better than it is right now. Some random slime says someone followed me and do they have the cutest OCs? I am legit going to attack them 5 times. Go for it! Follow that inspiration. Definitely use that motive while you got it. Like, channel it, use it. I support this. Go all in, friend. Go all in. Okay. I don't know why I'm doing these little highlights when I have... I guess because I got distracted. I was doing them to separate out his paws because they're the same color as the sweater, which I was not prepared for. But now I'm just sort of like tinkering and adding them other places that we don't really need them right now. But it's kind of fun. How about you guys? Highlighting, I would say, without a shadow of a doubt, doing highlights is my favorite part of the art process, especially digitally, because you can really go ham on the highlights. But what about you? What is your favorite part of the drawing process? Is it the sketch phase? Is it your line art phase? What is your favorite part? Oh my gosh, I just like rammed into the table. What is your favorite part of the drawing process? Let's hear it. Let's see what some people's favorite parts of the process are and see like if we're all kind of like thinking the same or is it all going to be different. I'm very curious kind of like how this will pan out. Random Slimer says my favorite part is where I don't draw and instead I make keychains of people's OCs. That's valid. At first I thought you were being funny, but you were being literal and that actually does make sense because you are making keychains. That's fun. Sticky Earth, so I got it done right then. I got lucky last dentist appointment and needed a cavity filled, and the first they told me to come back in 3 weeks, and while it was making the appointment, someone called in and canceled, so you were 30 minutes away. That worked out. Yeah, good timing. So you got good timing. I got the opposite of good timing. I got bad timing. Serby says, my favorite part is line art and my least favorite part is shading. That's interesting. I don't know. I like, maybe it's because the picture's almost done at that point. I like shading, but maybe, yeah, maybe it's just because I can kind of, it's so close to done. I feel like I can really see sort of the satisfactory ending that I'm going for at that point. I don't know, maybe not, but that's interesting that you dislike shading. But that makes sense. It's not going to be everybody's favorite. It's not even my favorite. I said highlights over here. Sticky Ears says, I love sketching and Lunar Garden, rendering and hard shading. I've been loving playing with lighting. So yeah, some people, it's interesting how for some people their least favorite is somebody else's favorite. So Lunar Garden loves shading, and then Serby doesn't love shading, but that's fine. It's all about like, and it changes too, right? Like what used to be your favorite part that isn't anymore, because I know that we all kind of change over time, and what used to be our favorite, we might like not like anymore. Like you might get bored with a stage and be like, wow, I wish I could skip this stage or fast forward it because I'm just so used to it now that it's not as much fun as maybe it used to be or something like that. Does anybody have a stage like that they feel that they wish they could just fast forward? Or a step of drawing that you wish you could fast forward? Sticky Art says highlights and line work are fun for me though. Yeah, I like the finishing touches. I find are the most fun just because the drawing, you can kind of see like what you're gonna get by that part of the drawing. So I feel like it's really satisfying. Bingo Ned, I feel like my drawings are always bad until I add shading. So does that mean shading is kind of your favorite part? Like de facto, shading becomes sort of your favorite at that point? I think this color, oh man, I really hope I'm not gonna regret this. Yeah, I think this color works. We're gonna use this color for this part of the sweater. Just moving along, we're gonna get this one done. We're definitely gonna get this one done. I feel close now. I do. Maybe it's because I just tricked myself by doing a little bit of highlights early, but I feel like I'm getting close to done with this. We still have to like color in the entire frame and the flowers too, but we can't do any of that until we finish coloring his outfit, which honestly now we just gotta do the undershirt, which is like a really super duper soft beige. I think we can get that with maybe this, but also maybe, ooh, me taking glasses off. Barley beige might be a nice way to go. Let's go with barley beige. I'm gonna go find that color. I'll be right back. Got it. Serby says, I shade very simply because I don't like doing it, LL, but it's become parts of my style and it's very flat cell shaded with lots of gradients. Gradients are so underrated. Sorry, just throwing that out there. I feel like a gradient can add so much to your drawing, and you can really escape that sort of flat trap where you feel like your drawing's just, oh no, see, I got that wet and it picked up the whiteout pen that I was trying to use to cover that mistake. We'll fix it. We'll re-white it out in a second. Webstar says, I hate shading, LOL, it's always a hit or a miss. I remember feeling that way too, and sometimes I still do if I try to do something overcomplicated that I don't fully understand. So with shading and even with like lighting, like highlights, it's kind of like you gotta be ready to do a light study. You gotta be ready to kind of like dive in to where's my light source, right? What's casting shadows? If you're in the mind space to answer those questions when you're making your art, I feel like you're gonna be way more satisfied with your outcome because it's going to make more sense visually because you made it make sense spatially. I hope that also makes sense just hearing me say it. But yeah, lighting can be, I feel like I really gotta be in a place though, personally, where I can dedicate a lot of time and a lot of mental energy to my art in order to really go out of my way with like a piece that has some really quality lighting. And I haven't really done that yet this year because I'm still trying to focus just on how to blend markers. Like I'm still there. I'm still working on, am I blending this right? Does this look good? Am I getting a nice gradient? Like somebody already mentioned, gradient Serby. I'm trying to work, like even just this green MAC, I tried to make sure that I was gradiating the MAC from a lighter and darker green to create some like contrast and variation. But I haven't really focused too heavily on like doing any sort of like high, like atmospheric lighting. But when you do focus on atmospheric lighting, you can really push yourself and unlock some really cool artwork skills and also like just really, I don't know, really impress yourself maybe even with stuff you didn't know you were capable of if you're really putting the time and the effort and the brain power into understanding your lighting, what your light source is, what's casting shadow, create that spatial kind of like awareness as if this was a 3D thing and not a 2D thing, and then shade it. Yeah, you're really gonna like surprise yourself. You can really do that. Bingo Ned, my attitude with shading nowadays is we ball and we ruin this drawing like men. It either looks like the best thing I've ever made or I will delete it. It is hit or miss more than it used to be, he says. Yeah. Sometimes you just gotta be brave. Be brave and be like, you know what, I'm gonna do this thing. I don't know if it's gonna work, but we're doing it. And that's the only way we're gonna learn how to do it right. Sticky Art says lighting can really help bring a piece together, especially with color harmonies. I agree. I wish I had some examples to show you, but I don't right now. Not readily available, not handy. But I think you all kind of know. You kind of, in your mind, you can kind of think of like a piece that resonates with you, or maybe an example you've seen in the past that kind of like illustrates that point, and you're like, I know what you're talking about. I know what we're saying. You're picking up what Chad is putting down. All right, so man, I don't know. I forgot some leaves. I missed a couple leaves. We're gonna color in these leaves. Yes, we are. We're gonna color in these leaves. We're gonna get them green. We're gonna make these leaves green. That's gonna happen right now. Because I missed some leaves. I don't know if I'm gonna want these flowers to be white. I think they look kind of good white, but then they just kind of look like the paper. So as nice as that is, it's boring to just leave them paper white. So I might color them. I just don't know what color yet. I gotta pick a color, I think, for the inside of the frame first. Their background color. And then, once I color that in, I'll decide what to do about these flowers. The flowers, I think, I just dropped my marker. I think these flowers are gonna be probably the last thing I color on this page, just so that I can make sure that, like Sticky already mentioned, I'm getting some good color harmonies. But that's not gonna prevent me from adding this nice dark shadow to my leaf now, because I can do that now. No reason not to do that. No reason at all. We're just gonna add a little shading to our leaves. There we go. I don't know about you guys, but I like that a lot. I think it looks good. Okay. Whew. What color or colors? We could do like a nice gradient. Speaking of gradients, we could do a gradient. I think like a blue on bottom. Let's see. I'm thinking a nice blue on bottom, but then transition that in a gradient to something else up top. And I kind of feel like I kind of want to do dark because I want them to pop off the background, which means they need to be lighter. It doesn't mean they have to be, but I would like them to be lighter than the background. So maybe like we really go dark. We use this Prussian blue or this sapphire. They're both gonna be kind of dark. The Prussian blue gives me a little bit, I could blend this Prussian blue maybe into this deep violet. That might be really pretty. I mean, we'll test it. We'll test it first. I do have like a test sheet. Like seriously, I've been testing a lot. So we will test this first. Let me go grab those colors and we're gonna see if we can blend this blue with this violet. I don't know, guys. We're gonna find out though. Sticky, the lighting can really help bring the piece together. I did read that part already. So I did have my glasses pushed up for this. I cannot touch my face. We gotta remember this. No touching the face, okay? Pirate Perry, no touching the face. Let's see if this blue, which is very dark, will blend with this violet. So far, they both look super duper dark. They don't look super duper blended. If I overlap it, what do we get? Are we getting a nice gradient, or is it all just one dark color at this point? That doesn't look, oh, I just stamped myself with that color. It kind of matches my nails. It doesn't look to me like that's blending. I don't think I like that. Let's pick a different color, but I do like this. I like the blue. I don't really like the violet. I think that was not the right choice. That's why we do this. That's why we test them. Random Slimer says, I just made my 5th attack today and I'm now at 138 this year. That is astronomical. I can't even imagine doing that many a year. I just hit 200 total for all the years that I've been on ArtFight. I can't imagine doing 138 in 1 year. That is so intense. Maybe if we tried like going from a dark to a lighter color. What if we did like a 3-part blend? Okay, let's try this blue to vivid purple to vivid pink, maybe. I don't know if that's gonna be too crazy. Let's try it. So I've got them. They got them here. Lunar Garden. I think that's supposed to be a smiley face, but we lost part of the emoji. We're gonna try this. Okay. We're gonna start again with our blue. So imagine it like the blue's coming up from the bottom. So we'll start at the bottom with the blue. And then we're gonna go to the vivid purple next. We're gonna wanna go like this color. See, and this is why sometimes I don't know, especially warm to cool tones, if it's going to blend. Because sometimes I think it doesn't. But we're gonna try it. We're gonna keep trying. So now for the lighter one, the lightest color of all. And I don't know. I'm getting that weird, like, the way it sort of like picks up color when I try to go from like a warm to a cool tone, and I don't like that. This is hard. Serby says, I've got to go to work now, but have fun art fighting, everyone. Have a good day at work, and thank you for joining us for stream. Lunar Garden says, surprise Pikachu face. Moss, I got coffee. Oh, I love coffee. Coffee's so good. My coffee's probably cold now. This is not working. Actually, this first one, now that it's sort of drying, it does look a little bit better, but this is definitely no. This is like, no. Like, no. We're not doing that. But I'm still keeping this blue because I still like the blue. I'm sort of changing my mind a little bit about this. I kind of like that. What do you guys think? I'm gonna put the rest of these back because it's just getting out of control. Let's see if I can even hold all the markers that we have out in one hand. Probably not. So I'm gonna put these away. And I think we're gonna come back, and I think this is what we're gonna do. I think it's gonna be like flip it. Okay, like blue to purple or purple to blue. I am a little bit of a neat freak, I'm not gonna lie, so I like to put my stuff away when I'm done using it, even if I'm still like working on the project. I will try to clean up my markers as early on in the process as I can, just because I like to have as little clutter as I can, especially because I have a small space. You might not be able to tell from like this view of like my desk, but I'm actually kind of like my mouse pad. This is my mouse pad. My microphone's like right here. And then this right here is the stand holding the phone up here to do the recording. And like, yeah, that's literally the size of this book, which again is the size of a marker squared. Is like, that's all the free space I have. So I do like to clean off my space when I know I'm done with those other colors. It just makes it more accessible. Defacto or Defanatic 600, welcome to the stream. So happy to see you. Next stream, please. This is different. Blah, blah, blah. Man, I'm struggling. Kappa Goblin is my favorite Tamagotchi character, says the Fanatic. Oh my gosh, so cute, right? Where did it go? Let's take a quick look real quick about what you're talking about. Yes, here we go. Goblin is right here. It's the yellow one on the bottom. And these are Tamagotchis. D-Fanatic definitely called that out correctly. And then for D-Fanatic, if I go back one more page, this is their squirrel character, by the way. So if anybody is looking for another target to attack, D-Fanatic just entered the chat, and their ArtFight name is the same as their YouTube name. So you can go attack their Cowie nine-tailed squirrel if you want. Just throwing that out there. The pink Kappa is super cute. I really was proud of this one. I like how I did the beak a lot. Definitely happy with how these turned out. This is actually the thumbnail. That's probably why you pointed it out, like why you said it, because this is the thumbnail of today's stream, was this attack. Definitely super proud and happy with how this one came out. And also just the little like elements that I sprinkled in here, like this clam with the pearl, starfish, and the little snail like shell, some seaweed, And all the little bubbles, of course, just little things. Sometimes it's just about the little things, right? Yeah, I forgot the squirrel tail, but thanks, says D-Fanatic. Yeah. I think it's cute. I struggled, I'm not gonna lie. And by the way, D-Fanatic, the next, spoiler, the next episode of our podcast, Palette Table Podcast, I will be drawing this page during that discussion, and we will be discussing what it's like to be an art YouTuber and giving advice for people who are thinking about starting an art channel on YouTube. So that is the whole conversation that Pilfer Already-ish and I had in our last session. And once that's finished being edited, it's gonna go live on our Palette Table Podcast channel, which you will see kind of like this page being made from scratch. So that's coming out soon for anybody who is interested in that. And it makes for great background as well while you're drawing, just to listen to us sort of like talk about our experiences in the art space as social media YouTubers. I think I might actually do it this way, purple on bottom, because her hair and her shirt are purple. And if I do purple on top, it's gonna be up here or there. I kind of want to balance it a little better. So I think I'm gonna do the violet color, the deep violet on bottom. And we're gonna blend it as best as we can with the blue up top. Hopefully this works out, because unlike digital art, I cannot just be like, oh, wow, I don't really like that color combo. Why don't I just select that color and change it? So I can't do that. So once I put this down, we're married to it. This is happening. Okay, it is time. We are going to start coloring this background, and we're gonna committing to this color. Look how deep that purple is too. It's such a deep color. I think the darker color is gonna make for a really nice background. I do feel like it will help our characters pop off a little bit more. That said, time to put the glasses down. I know what color this is. I just need to cover my face and try to color it in. We are at 11:26. I think it's been almost a full hour since I last checked in with you guys. So let me know. It is time for a temperature check. How are we doing? Have we completed any more attacks? Are we working on any new characters? What are you guys up to? Have we enjoyed our brother's birthday party a little bit more? The kids being a little less rowdy? What's everybody up to? D-Fanatic says, I created a new character. That's exciting too. Yeah, I still see people adding new characters, especially on the front page. There's like a whole section for new characters. So if you also wanted to take a chance at getting a little bit extra visibility on the front page, you could also keep submitting characters because there is like a whole section for that where it's still featuring new characters on the front page. Kind of want to carefully go in here with like the smaller brush and get in here with this purple. And we're kind of getting up here to the part of the color that I want to blend. So I'm going to bring out the blue now. Is this the blue? Yeah, it's the blue. And we're going to overlap this a little bit because we're going to try blending here. This is like the area that I want to blend, which also means I want to get out the smaller tip of the nib for this as well. Glasses up so I can see if these are blending. Actually, I think they are. I think that looks pretty good. I think it's the cutoff line is a little bit too obvious right here. So we're gonna get this area a little wet again with the blue color. And then I might come back in here with more purple just to try and blend that out some more. What do you guys think? Are we doing okay? Are we getting a nice gradient here with these two colors like we wanted? Moss says, super close to finishing my drawing. It has 2 simple shaped characters in it. Good job. Way to keep it trucking and getting those characters knocked out. Simple shaped characters, don't sleep on those. Those can be super cute. Never underestimate a simple shaped character. Sometimes the simpler the design, the stronger the design. Because, you know, they do try to say simplify, simplify, simplify. if there's any details you can take out without losing the character, taking them out might make your design stronger. I can't remember the exact words, but I definitely read that somewhere recently. So it's worth considering. I think this is kind of blended, but not completely blended as much as I wanted. So we're gonna keep trying to blend in these two colors. This part where they overlap is like really crucial to get while the two markers are still wet. So I'm gonna try to just really try to get a nice good blend out of these two colors here. And then as we move up, it should just be the blue. And that way we start seeing the transition of the colors. Moss says super close to finishing. Oh, I just read the part. And it's an attack, said Moss. Yeah, I mean, also with attacks, not just designing your own characters, but for sure, attacking the simple shaped characters does not have to feel like a throwaway. I 100% think that there's always a way to be creative, no matter how simple shaped the character, and create something unique and fun that they're gonna love. And I'm sure that they're gonna love your attack. Random Slimer found someone with no attack, so I'm gonna get them. Good idea. Also, that's a great mentality too, to go looking for somebody who maybe hasn't seen a lot of action yet and sort of like bring the fight to them, you know? Like, pay it forward, spread the love, be the one that introduces a new player to the game and kind of like jumpstart their art fight, you know? Even especially, or even, I was gonna say even, but especially now that we're 2 weeks in. If we're 2 weeks in and somebody hasn't been attacked yet, they can start feeling really demotivated. So it helps to have somebody, if they see that they have no attacks and are able and have the time to draw something for that person, you could really kind of be like an art fight lifesaver. Because you could really bring somebody back from feeling really like sad or dejected around art fight and help bring them to a place where they feel included. Whew, man, this is kind of hard. I don't want to accidentally color over the characters, but I also want the background to look super like not streaky. Whatever the opposite of streaky is. I want it to be not streaky. Are you guys planning to do Art Fight like basically for the whole weekend, or are you gonna have to stop and do like other, you know, like essentials to life? Maybe you have work, or maybe you have like obligations for family or school, or are you able to like dedicate your whole weekend to just doing Art Fight? I would like to. I kind of have the whole weekend. Actually, I do. I do have the whole weekend this weekend. I'm just gonna have to, you know, take it in moderation because of the whole eye thing. But I think I'm doing pretty darn good right now. My eyes are not dry. I'm protecting them appropriately. And we're making some really good progress, in my opinion, personally. Moss, I remember in a stream I said I had 0 defenses and then I got trampled with them. Over 10 of my defenses are from people who came from that stream. That's such a good feeling. Honestly, yeah, like again and again and again and again, I will never stop saying, like, this is a great place to find people to draw for, because you know that they're actively looking for Art Fight, and they're trying to participate, and they're logging in, they're paying attention, they're watching streams about Art Fight. They're like, you know, they're committed. They're committed to the game. It's a great time to find new people to attack and to follow on Art Fight. Never mess with Already-ish's viewers. Oh my God, says Moss. Yeah, that makes sense. Have you seen, she's like, guys, stop attacking me. I'm already dead. And they're like, nope, it's really funny, like some of the titles of their attacks are like, you thought you could escape, not today. Like, oh well, guess you'll just have to get attacked again. Like, some people are really having a lot of fun hamming it up, and they know she's overwhelmed, but they're trying to, like, just trying to have fun with her, and they're not worried about whether or not she can get to their revenge when she's so snowballed. They're just trying to have fun, and I think that's beautiful. Okay, I think I've read all of the chat. I just want to make sure I'm not forgetting anything. I have not said yet, and I do want to let you guys know I appreciate the likes. 16 likes on this stream this beautiful Saturday morning, evening, afternoon, or night, depending on what time zone you're in. This beautiful Saturday, let's just say that. I appreciate it. You guys have been amazing company, helping me out as I try to stay productive and also explore ArtFight and all kinds of ideas art related. I hope you guys are having fun as well, and that it's just as much fun to hang out here with me as I'm hanging out with you. I don't know how long I'm gonna stream today. I think I'm gonna try to, yeah, I think I can make it to the end of this drawing for sure. So, because we're so close, right? So we're gonna be able to get all the way through this. I'm gonna feel so accomplished. And nobody's even gonna have to know, besides the people that were here in stream, that I did this with one eye. Nobody has to know. Everybody knows. I've been talking about it a lot in Discord. So I feel like everybody knows, even though I'm trying to like play it cool. I've actually been like internally screaming and freaking out and telling everybody because I'm freaking out. And I'm like, oh yeah, this thing happened to me, just casually gonna drop that here in the chat. But honestly, I'm like freaking out on the inside. And I wish that it wasn't happening, but what can you do? Well, we can art fight. That's what we can do. We can pass the time with new art and try and just make the most of it, right? Like, we're not done yet. It's not over yet. We're gonna still fight. What's usually your limit for time on streams? I usually try to do, like, I set a plan to stream for 2 hours. Lately, I've been getting more comfortable and going over my 2 hours. So I've been streaming a lot longer lately. I've been doing 3 hours, 3.5 hours. I don't think I've done a 4-hour stream yet because I usually catch myself before that. And then I try to like go take care of like, my chores and responsibilities. I try to be like an active participant in my house and not spend all day streaming. Not that there's anything wrong with that. For anybody that does stream for long hours, I think it's wonderful that you have the energy to do it. I'm working my way there. I'm working up the energy to do that. But I'm also just trying to be, mindful of like my other basic needs and responsibilities and stuff. Hope that answers the question. I know that wasn't like a straightforward answer. Yeah, basically, I will stream for 2 hours when I schedule a stream. Sometimes I will go over and do 3 or up to 4 hours. That's probably a better answer. And I hope that helps, especially if it's a weird time of day for you and you're wondering like how long will I be on so that you can catch like a stream a little bit later. That's kind of my plan. That's how long I will be on. That's what I plan for anyway. I wonder if I took the purple too high on this side. Hopefully not. I'm trying to like push it back down a little bit with the blue so that we can make this transition to the blue up here because it's time for it to be blue. I'm like not trying to talk because I'm focusing so hard in this really tight corner, trying to get this liner in between the hair. This background color. What do you guys think? How am I doing so far? would we call this a successful gradient? Or do we think maybe it's kind of mid? Is it effective? Is it streaky? Where do we stand with this gradient? Are we cooking or not? Also, I don't know how many of my regulars would have noticed, but the music today is all new music, or it should be all new music. There might be a couple that are starred from previous streams, because normally I go through my starred songs on the YouTube Studio Library, but today I decided that we would just put it on a certain mood, and I went with happy and inspiring and those kind of moods. And then just let it play all new tracks, because I feel like some of my usual songs are getting a little repetitive. We've all kind of heard them at this point. Thought it might be fun to freshen it up a little bit and to try a couple of new songs. So let me know if any of them seem really familiar, or if there was any new ones that you really enjoyed. I don't expect you to call out what the names were. But it'd be fun to hear if the music was refreshing. Was it nice to have a change of pace in the music, or was it super not even noticeable? Yeah, I'm also twisting the book now. I feel like it's time to start doing a little bit of turning the page so that I can color a little bit better. But we're oh, gosh, I feel so close. And then of course I'll probably, after I get the background done, I might do just a little bit of highlights just to help the final touches pop out a little bit more. But overall, we are so close to done. I'm really excited for this piece. Like I said at the beginning of the stream, I've been working on this drawing for 3 days. 3 days is the longest I've spent on any drawing. So I've really been pacing myself and focusing on taking my time with this, with my current limitations, and doing quality work. I don't want to let my quality slip. I almost tripped over those words even. So I'm trying really hard to maintain quality, to do good work, and I'm excited after 3 days of working on this piece to see it finished. Have you guys picked out a favorite yet of all the art pieces you've worked on? Because usually by the end of ArtFight, for me personally, I know that I will typically have a piece that I'm just super proud of. I really love it, and I'm man, I'm so glad I did ArtFight this year, because if I didn't, I would never have drawn that. Have you guys found that piece yet? Have you or in the past, if you've done ArtFight before, do you have a piece like that you feel the same way, where it's oh man, this is what ArtFight is all about, so that I can make art like this that I would have never made otherwise, and I'm really glad that I did. Tanilla says, I really need to learn to pace myself. I spent 10 hours straight drawing yesterday. That is such a hyper-focused mindset to be able to go 10 hours straight. I love it though. Probably not super healthy. I hope you took breaks and hydrated and made sure you ate meals, fueled your body, because that's important too. But yeah, I hear that. Sometimes it's hard to pace yourself when you're in the zone. You can feel so focused and so motivated. Also, yeah, I already have my favorite. That's so cool. And sometimes you'll have that favorite for a couple weeks, and then you'll do another one that becomes your new favorite, and you might walk away loving them both equally. Or maybe the next one just really blows the first one out of the water. So there's a lot of time still to find out you have an even better favorite. You never know, it's possible. But I'm glad that you have that. It's such a good, you just get proud of the work that you've done, and you deserve to be proud of it, because you did do the work. Tanilla says, don't worry, I ate I think it's supposed to say art while eating, haha. Just make sure you're eating, like, and giving yourself the proper amount of like fuel that you need, that your body needs. Even if you like eat while drawing, which I have done for a couple days, especially during the work week. I find that's like super relatable right now, actually, to Noah or to Nia, because during the work week, I work 9 a.m. to 6:30 p.m. 6:30 rolls around and I haven't been able to draw all day because I've been working. So then I'm like, okay, I need to do dinner, but I also want to start drawing now because it's going to take me a couple hours to even finish one art piece, and I want to do at least one a day. Which is also why I'm doing so many pieces that have more than one character in it, because I know that I can only do one a day. So I'm trying to like get as many characters as I can with a little bit of time that I have. And I'm not gonna lie, I have eaten many meals at my desk while drawing for ArtFight so far, because during the week especially, I do not have time to do ArtFight and go sit down and have dinner. I just don't. I do work, I do ArtFight and dinner at the same time. Otherwise, ArtFight would not happen for me. It's like literally my only option, so I have to do them both together. So as much as I'm like, no, make sure you're eating healthy and don't do that and blah, 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 I'm guilty. I'm so guilty. I do the same thing. It's like one of those do what I say, not what I do things, because I'm not very good at following my own advice right now. But like, it's also one of those compromise situations. Sometimes it's a compromise. Sometimes you gotta like multitask, and it's for a limited time. It's not like it's ArtFight, right? It's only during July. It's not like I'm doing this all year round. All year round, I would say put more focus on your quality of life. Because sometimes when you're just doing something that's kind of like, what does the gaming industry call it? When you're doing that like crunch, when you're like, I don't know, is it just called crunch? Like that period of time where you're overworking, but you know it's temporary. Oh shoot, I took the blue down too far. No, that wasn't supposed to be blue. That's supposed to be purple down here. Purple, purple, purple. Push the blue back up. We don't want that down here. Go away, blue, we don't want you. This far down the drawing. Yeah, I mean, temporarily. I guess it's okay. Temporarily is what I'm saying. Tanilla, I'm in university, but it's summer right now, so I have absolutely nothing to do, which is why I'm so lucky I can ArtFight in July. Yeah, use it. Take advantage of the time you have. If you have it, power to you. I will not let my jealousy stop me from celebrating your availability to do that. That's amazing, and I'm so happy for you. And man, for anybody that has that opportunity, I encourage it. Lunar Garden says it's hard to choose right now. Hard to choose what? Oh, a favorite? That's right, I asked about favorites. It's hard to choose a favorite right now. I do have a favorite. I'm pretty sure I gave away which one it was when I made the thumbnail of this video. My current favorite of the attacks I've made so far are the Tamagotchis, hands down. I don't know, I had so much fun with that one, and I was really happy with the way that the whole page came out. Because a lot of these, I've been sort of like, I don't realize, like with digital, you can just, if something's off center, you can just grab the lasso tool, grab it and center it, right? But with this, when something's off center, you either erase the whole thing and start over, or you put up with it. This page I'm on right now was off center. I drew this, the characters and everything, and then I added the frame, and I realized like, this is so off center, what do I do? And so I added this part here to sort of help balance the page, because I did not want to erase and start over the whole thing. But this one, I felt like I balanced the page really well. The little characters are really cute. I like the uniformity. I like that they're all Tamagotchis. I love like just sort of the wallpaper I did with all the little extra stuff. So long story short, that's currently my favorite of the attacks that I have made. Although I'm becoming like really fond of this one, because I just really like sort of the Art Deco-y move with the frame. I don't think I've ever done, and I won't say ever, but I definitely haven't done something like this in a long time, and I'm really pleased with it. so far. I think it's coming out super nice. If you don't mind revealing which one is your favorite that you've done so far, and tell me why. Like, explain, if it's not too much trouble, explain in the comments why it is your favorite, or what about it makes it your favorite. Tanilla said, oh, I already read that part. Okay, cool. I already explained why my favorite is what it is, but what about you guys? How do you pick your favorites? Is it just a feeling? Is it because you feel it's your best work, or it's the one you had the most fun with? Or is it because it's like the character design, just you were so happy with the character you found that you had a lot of, like, you were really happy to draw them? What is it that makes a favorite a favorite? Deep dive. I feel like when I have to color with a smaller nib, it gets way more streaky, so I'm gonna have to like go over some of the parts that I did with a smaller marker a little bit, just so I can kind of get rid of the streakiness. And fill it in a little bit more. Okay. I do think, just bring this up a little bit. Just bringing it in a little bit more so I can give like, because the gradient has a little bit of a dip to it. I don't know if that's super obvious on the camera, but I just wanted to like level it a little bit, play into it a little bit. Oh no, I just gave myself another print. I gotta put the cap on this. This is why I have to wear glasses, because I'm a mess. I will touch things and not know. All right, we are done with that. Now the question is, what about these flowers? Man. And then of course I can add some highlights to pop them a little bit more off of the page now that I've filled in the background. Like your favorite attack. Like, and it could be because it was your favorite character that you saw, if that's what makes it your favorite, but like out of the ones that you've worked on, your drawings. Not attacks that you received, but like the ones that you drew, what's your favorite and what makes it your favorite? Like, what about it is like, man, that's the favorite piece I've worked on. Like, I love that, I did so good, or it just looks cool. Like, what's your favorite and what makes it your favorite? I think I need to like, man. Whew. Trying to like figure out how I want to do highlights. I am definitely like almost done. Artbreaker says, I think bringing in a little dark pink from the character's hair on the left would make it a little more cohesive. Pink in the middle coloring out to white would be really pretty. I agree. I think that pink is just too bright to be standing alone. We need to like repeat that color somewhere. So let's do that. We're gonna bring that into the flowers, and I like your idea of fading it out to white, or to just like sort of release it out to white, kind of like the starfish here, kind of like that. So let's try that, and I think that pink color was, this is pastel pink maybe? Like this one? I think so. Let's grab pastel pink and let's make that happen. All right, I got it. Okay, so here we go. Here goes nothing. Oh, Moss says, okay, probably Already's character, Wishful. It's the flowy hair and the galaxy theme. It was perfect for a wallpaper, and it's actually my wallpaper currently. That's so cool. Oh, I love that. I love that. That's so cool. I gotta hand it to you, Artbreaker. This was such a good idea. I'm in love with it already. I already love this. I think it's turning out so good. Man, what a good call. Look at that. It's so perfect. That worked out perfect. I love that. Let's do this one. And the big one in the middle. Oh, they look like pink poppies. They're so pretty. I agree. It's so pretty. What a good call. Thank you so much for the suggestion. It worked out, I think, just perfect. Just perfect. We just gotta finish the move here like this. Let's get the rest of this in. Like that. And this side too. Pink. Yeah, I think that needs just a little bit of a white separation there because I overcolored that petal. We can fix it. So we can separate these two sides out. Beautiful. Thank you so much for the suggestion. Definitely brought the piece together. I agree. Random Slimer, I get to stream in 2 days, so I'm cleaning up my jewelry box station to prepare. That's exciting. Way to prep for your stream. I love that you're already thinking ahead. That's so great. I'm actually going to add a couple just little dots just to add a little bit of texture. I don't know if these flowers would have dots in them, but we're just going to add a few. Because I think it looks kind of nice to break it up a tiny bit. These are like those finishing details we talked about earlier where you're like, the piece is basically done. Now we're just adding like a finishing touch, the final touches. I'm gonna add like a little, my hand's shaking, but I'm trying to add like just a little highlight in here to his sweater, like the creases. I think we can stand to have a few creases, a few highlight. Ah, no, not like that. That's better. Just a few. It's super, super minor. You might not even be able to see or pick that up on the screen, but I think when I do the final photo and put this on the ArtFight page, if you guys feel like checking it out later and swinging by, these little details at the very end will become a little bit more visible. All right. Well, I hope you guys had a lot of fun. I know I did. You've been amazing. And Artbreaker says sparkles make everything better. Yeah, I like adding sparkles. It's really fun. Adding just a few to the flowers, I think, goes a long way. I also did it up here. It makes them look a little bit, for these like lotuses, makes them look a little bit like gemstones. I gotta be honest. I'm not even sure they look like flowers anymore, but I think it's pretty, so I don't hate it. Again, thank you guys for being here. I appreciate you joining me on your weekend to do some art fight, and I hope that we can do this again soon. I really thank you guys for coming. I look forward to next time, and I will see you on ArtFight and on YouTube for my next stream or video. And especially for those of you that were interested in webtoons, stick around. There will definitely be more of that coming. Thanks again. And I'll see you next time. Bye.